Hello, hello, hello. Time for more AI the Somnium Files NirvanA initiative. Last time, we went through not one, but I believe two Somniums. A father and son. Tried to figure out what exactly the two of them were hiding. We know we have one with loan sharks and other such shady debt collectors running after them. And another with repressed feelings and lies about what they've told us regarding our investigation. Now we have to uncover truth. They know we've seen through their lies. So all that's left is for them to tell us the truth. Hopefully it's not a half-truth, because that would be a little ironic. And I'd say we have our main suspect after that. So, without further ado, let us begin. There we go. Let's begin. I believe one of the first things we get to do is hop into the bonus menu. No new outfits, but we do have new stuff for the Dream album. We didn't go and get the 1 second, or greater than 1 second remaining, but...
Show me too!
we did get this. I don't think we got any. Oh no, we did get it because we got two of them. Yep.
Hurry and check it out. Come on.
Concept art for Auto Roaster. And then that's concept art for the robot. And now, get on in. Let us begin.
Shoma is related to Horadori Institute somehow?
I don't care. I'm Soma's father. I won't let you lay a finger on him!
In other words, Nai's, Tokiko, Chikara, and Horadori Institute are all connected.
The machine looks pretty intimidating seeing it like this.
And I'm so proud of you, Dad.
Here we are. Right where we left off. I don't think there's too much for us to see. The window.
Such a nice view.
Yeah.
You can see the city at night through the window. The sky is starting to burn brighter to the east. The door of the gondola. Alrighty, buddy. Not much else to look at. There's one thing for us to do. Because I said I wanted to start doing this more at the start and at the end. What rank do I like? Lightweight, heavyweight, bantamweight. I've never heard of strawweight. I've heard of these three though. These are all like for fighting, sparring sort of sports. These are the 3 weight classes I'm familiar with. I've never heard of a straw weight. I don't know. I'll say bantamweight because it sounds cool. 53.52 kilograms or lower. The name is like a battle robot. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah. 53.52. 50 is 110 pounds, so 53.52. So about 117, 118, around that. Not quite exactly, I don't think, but around that much. Yeah, also, I just realized it's Mizuki. Was it always that? I could have sworn it was not always Mizuki. Okay, whatever. Alrighty. No more dancing around it. What do you have to tell us, Shoma? Shoma is sitting in front of me. Looking at me with a gentle expression. The weight has been lifted off his shoulders. Let's just get right to the point. Where did Bats Fly 90 actually point to?
I decoded the message and went where it led me. To an underground floor of the Nice Japan building. They called it the Cathedral. The president, Miss Shigure, was waiting for me there. She complimented me on decoding the message and invited me to join NICE. That's probably why Bats 490 was being spread in the first place.
Tokiko did mention that.
He did.
We have been seeking high IQ individuals with the capability to decode it. The purpose was to recruit them into NICE.
Miss Shigure told me all sorts of things about NICE's ideals. And I was sick of the world at the time, so when they told me this world isn't real, I fell in love with NICE's beliefs right away. They told me to keep it all a secret.
You cannot tell anyone about the secret of the world.
Secret of the world, known by only a handful of people. I felt like I was special, just knowing I was one of the chosen few. That's why I didn't tell you the truth.
But we found that place anyway. So why did you lie about it?
I thought I just told you.
No, that's not what I meant. You deliberately lied about it pointing to Horodori Institute. You could have chosen not to say anything at all.
But if I didn't say anything, you would have taken me in, right? Then I'd get tortured and injected with the truth serum, and you'd force me to talk about the secret of the world. I lied
I think
because
we
I
did
didn't
back
want
there,
that to
buddy.
happen.
Is that what he thinks the police do?
Well, he is still a kid.
Horodori Institute was the first place that popped into my head. I've been there lots, and I hated the director, Mr. Horodori, so I wanted to bug him a bit.
Okay. And why have you been
It
there
all
lots?
started with the test. The results from my health checkup at my elementary school came back abnormal, so they wanted to do more tests. But instead of the hospital, I was taken to Horodori Institute.
The test results show that you have some very special genetic abnormalities in your DNA. It's extremely rare. Only 1 in hundreds of thousands of people has it. One day, and it will be soon, you will fall ill to an incurable disease, and it will take your life. The only way for you to survive is to receive gene therapy through genome editing here at this institute.
So I started going to Horodori Institute, but it wasn't true. Not really.
So we just wanted him for testing? Yeah, what do you
that
mean?
Envelope. I stole it from the institute. Found it on my doctor's desk. It said it was top secret, so I thought it must be super important.
And it said he's
So,
totally
I
fine.
grabbed it and put it in my pocket. Inside the envelope was pieces of paper with writing all over it. It was written in German, but I managed to figure out what it was saying by using a translation app. There actually wasn't anything wrong with my genes.
Yep.
It was all for the sake of research. Horodori Institute was rewriting my genetic code. They used me for human experiments.
And that's what we were hearing about before.
When I found out, I talked to Director Horodori, but he acted like he did nothing wrong.
Why are you upset with me? You should be grateful. Your body is now special thanks to genome editing. Also, I would advise against pulling out of the experiments now. Your body is still in a transitionary stage. It needs regular testing and medication. If you stop now, all the cells in your body will falter and dissolve.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to tell a kid. We knew that he was a problem from the start. Glad we actually know why.
I don't know. The papers in the envelope didn't have any details, and Director Horodori didn't tell me anything.
Do you notice any changes in your body?
No, not really. It's the same as usual.
Does your father know about this?
I don't think so. I haven't told him. I didn't want him to worry about it, and Director Horodori threatened me not to.
And that's why
I
they
should go
kidnapped
without
him.
saying, but I want you to keep this a secret. Don't tell the police, your family, anyone. If you do, I'll be forced to destroy all of the data and the medicine that you need. And you know what that would mean, don't you?
Yeah, no, threatening a little kid? Not cool.
Thanks for telling me all this. It's going to be a huge help for the investigation.
No need to thank me. I owe you my life, Mr. Ryuki. And besides, I decided to be honest from now on.
I see.
I like the look on his face.
Smiling suits him.
Yeah.
You know, I actually wanted to spell the show part of your name with the kanji for laughter. It was going to be spelled with the character for laughter and shine, like a shining smile. Because I wanted you to stay smiling forever.
You have a nice smile, Shoma. It fits your name perfectly.
My name? Name. Wait, I remember something.
What is it?
When I was being kidnapped by the researchers, I met Terror in the warehouse.
What?
I couldn't see their face because they had a metal mask on, but I'm sure it was Terror. They said...
I am Terror. You've heard of me, haven't you? Of course, that isn't my real name. I'll tell you and only you my true name. Would you like to hear? My name is... Dahlia.
By the time we got off the Ferris Wheel, the sun was already out, rising in the east. It shines brightly, diffusing through the white haze covering the city that had gathered in the cold night.
Welcome back, Shoma.
Dad. I'm home. And thank you. You risked your life to protect me, right? So...
Shoma, I'm so sorry. Until now, I've always been thinking about what's best for me. I always said I was doing things for you, but I was just being selfish. I've caused so much trouble, at work and for you. Your mother and sister, too. But I'm done being selfish. I can't put you through any more pain. I'm going to quit comedy and get a normal, regular office job.
Don't quit!
What?
I like your comedy, Dad. I like you as a comedian.
Shoma.
I don't care if kids make fun of me at school anymore. I won't let them say you're uncool. You're trying to help people with your jokes, right? It's just like when you protected me. You put your heart and soul into it so you can make people laugh and make this world a happier place. And I think that's the coolest thing ever. So, I don't want you to quit being a comedian, no matter what.
Did he get the medal
Is
back?
that-
He did.
Dad, you dropped this at the warehouse district, didn't you? That's where I picked it up. And when I went to the police earlier, I borrowed some tape and fixed it. Congratulations, Dad! You won the Best Dad in the World Championship. It's a landslide victory! You try so hard as a comedian, and it's kinda lame, but you're so cool at the same time. You drink too much, have nose hair sticking out, and wipe your face with hand towels. But you're my super dumb funny dad, and I'm proud to be your son.
Boy, that's one spectacular prize. A landslide victory for me, huh? Thanks a bunch, Shoma.
By the way, Dad, there's one favor I want to ask.
God of energy, Inti, Hachaka Max! God of laughter, lucky, happy, Hachaka Max! God of apology! Oh, sorry. God of seasons, warm, hot, chilly, cold! God of shyness! Oh no, please, not the spotlight.
Ryuki, you should get to the hospital soon.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
still has a hole in his
The case
shoulder.
isn't solved yet either.
Yeah, I know. But just a bit. I want to watch them a little bit longer.
I mean, that's nice and all, but
They have a lot of issues to work out, don't they?
Yeah,
yeah,
but I'm sure they'll be fine.
unlike your shoulder.
As long as they have smiles, their world will be saved.
Hey, Shoma, what did you think of that joke?
It was great, Dad. You really are the best comedian in the world!
Wait. That's just the end of that route. Yep, there we go. I figured it would carry on just a little bit longer, but okay, fair enough. So we know their name is Dahlia. And I have one thing to say about that before we get to this, and that is to the a-hole that wrote an article with Terror's full first and last name as the first words in the title of the article. So if it so happened to get recommended to you on whatever newsfeed you get your articles from, you saw their name right off the bat and you could not avoid it. To that person who wrote it literally the day it came out, didn't even wait for the restrictions to be lifted. You're a jerk. That is all. I already know their last name. I could go. From day one, I actually could have gone and input the. Excuse me, not from day one, but from day two, because I saw it the day after. But from day two, I could have gone back to the start and already gone on the B route, route 2, where you already know the things where you already know the suspect's full name. Sorry, I just really had to say that. That was bothering me for so freaking long. Okay. The case isn't closed yet. There are many mysteries remaining. The truth of the HP case, Terror's objective, the future of the main characters. In this game, the story branches out to Somnium. In the flowchart, select a Somnium to find a different route hidden in the dream realm. And this is what I was talking about a while back. As you can see here, story branches. I could go here now, because I do actually know the whole name. But as a player, going in supposedly blind, without any jerks spoiling anything, without even considering what they're doing, we don't know that. So, I'm gonna go here. Need to go to the previous Somnium. Start the sync.
Super stand-up battle! Kentama.
Now, we've been here before, so we can skip through just about everything. And this is our time around to try and get the greater than 1 second remaining one. Here we go.
Let's start there. If we're gonna talk about
To the arcade. Wait, is it not the arcade? Oh, it's on stage. Whoops. Got my order backwards.
He's got a.
Okay, so let's start by doing all of these, stuff like the quiz, so we can get stuff like the 1/6 timey. There we go. And now we go over here. And I don't think we need the -10, so let's just go with the autograph. Alright, what does he want most versus what does he want to protect? This is where our path splits. We went over to the balloons, right? Yep. Now, inflate the balloon.
Ryuki, you have 5 minutes left.
Yep. Thank you, boss. There's this. And so now, instead of saying protect Shoma, this is where we go onto the different path. There are the money.
Okay, I just need to get some money ready, and those Yakuza guys I met at one of my shows, they said they had a good paying job for me. I guess I'll just have to take a
That's
chance
where
on
the
that.
Yakuza comes into play.
Let's go.
What I need to help Shoma is blank, blank, blank. Even if I have to blank, whatever happens to me, blank.
4 minutes now.
No, he's over trains, right? No. Ah, he's over here. I see he's at the shooting game. Something tells me talking to the Yakuza and standing over near shooting game kind of tells me what's his
It's a shooting
job
game.
was.
I can't picture Komeiji playing this.
Let's see. Let's go with find someone good at games. Yeah.
What? You want me to play this? Oh, I'm not good at this. Hey there, you look like a shooter. Why don't you give it a shot?
Yep, that was it.
This is the goods. I'm gonna take the pay. Don't worry, it's untraceable. Thank you.
Caught up in the black market, huh? Hmm.
Oh no.
Andy's Komeiji was selling firearms? Huh? Komeiji is gone.
What? He's over there.
I need to help Shoma is blank, blank, blank. Even if I have to break the law, whatever happens to me, blank.
Komeiji is trying to get on an airplane.
His expression is so... dead.
Talma, get in position to show Komeiji a cue card.
Exactly like which one I think it is. I'm gonna select it anyway though, because this is turning dark and I think it's going to stay that way.
You want me to get off head first? What kind of joke is that? Is that funny? Like Daedalus and Nocrates' son, I don't got no wax wings. I'll tell you, that one would be pretty nasty. You might even say, Icarus?
Okay, that was clever. Okay, but good, it wasn't that one. Shoma is money blank blank. Even if I have to break the law, whatever happens to me blank.
You have 3 minutes left, Ryuki. Focus.
A waste of time, though. Okay, one more round then.
What? Another?
What do you want me to say? If you quit now, your debt's only gonna get bigger.
Why? I gave you all your money.
You're nowhere close. Going round and round again, Komeiji. You're stuck doing laps for us just like this plane ride.
Komeiji had a hard time getting away from these shady characters.
I'm guessing he could only pay off the interest.
Crap! I forgot my bow tie.
Hey, where's he going?
And he jumped off anyway.
What is this? I know. If I have this, this is my ticket out of here. This is victory. This is my gold medal.
What did Komeiji find?
I'm going after him.
Next to a tipped over suitcase? I don't know. I need help. Shoma is money, money, blank. I'm willing to bet that last one is money. I'm about to break the law, whatever happens to me, blank. Where was he? He was over by the... yeah. It's not an eyeball.
What?
Is this?
And this is where we need to use a timing and hope that we get it right. Okay. Inspect, play, or take. I'm assuming he took it. So, take it.
If I take this with me, they'll have to pay me. There's no way they want this getting found. And it'll fit perfectly in my suitcase. It's just sitting there, practically begging me to take it. If I take this, I can escape this life. This is my chance to finally get ahead. I can't go back now.
And there it goes into the suitcase. We don't know what it is, though.
Komeiji took something home in his suitcase. I'm guessing he was going to blackmail someone.
That's what it sounded
What
like.
could it be?
Well,
Hey, we did it with almost 100 seconds left. We did good. I mean, it probably helps that we knew all the answers, but you know. Yep, there's our 500. Smiles for Tears. Yuki Chapter 3, Route 1.
Mr. Komeiji, I've taken a look inside your mind. You've been involved in gun trafficking, haven't you? There are other things I'd like to ask you about. May I have a minute of your time?
Oh, do we get to do the interview thing like in the first game? I haven't shown the first game, but if you've played the first game, which you should have if you're here, we get to do interviews. Why did it turn? Okay, let's look around first. It's a pipe. Surveillance camera. Camera for recording interrogations. Room is reflected in a two-way mirror. A desk. And a door. Yep. It has to turn the camera so much in order to fit that option on the right in. Or I didn't read what that said. It's Komeiji. He looks dejected. A stark contrast from how he was at Horodori Institute. Okay. Was that gun you had for trafficking? We'll ask that question first, I guess. Or no. Yeah, we'll ask that first. What was the connection between gun trafficking and your debt? I mean, we kind of already know, but... what were you doing at Horodori? Okay, what did you find on the rooftop? Not gonna say anything, huh?
Mr. Komeiji, you're treading dangerous waters here. At this rate, Shoma could also be put in danger. Please, talk to me. For Shoma's sake.
Okay.
Shoma, can you protect him?
You want me to protect Shoma?
As soon as I know he's safe, I'll tell you everything.
I'd say he's pretty safe with us, telling by the events of the other route, the alternate timeline, parallel world sort of thing.
Ryuki, I have Shoma safely under custody. I'll put him on the line.
Dad!
Shoma, are you okay?
No! The cops came and put me in the car, and now they're driving me to the station.
I see.
What did you do, Dad? The police are after you now? I knew you were dumb, but not that dumb.
I'm sorry.
Shoma, I'll have to fill you in later. I need to talk to your dad for now.
Okay. But...
Alright, Ryuki. I'll leave the
Please
rest
tell
to you.
him that we're keeping him safe. Like, we aren't taking him in because we think
Now,
Shoma's a
please continue,
suspect or something.
Komeiji.
Holy, okay.
Or do you prefer Mr. Enda?
He's a bit more relaxed now, that's good. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. About the debt.
Yes, I've racked up a huge amount of debt. I've been getting hounded by collectors. Eventually, they started threatening me with this.
Listen, Andy's Komeiji. Your dear little boy is in elementary school, isn't he? If If you don't pay the money you owe in 1 month, we're taking him and selling him overseas. Am I clear?
I couldn't talk to the police about what you said earlier. Gangsters selling guns and I was an accomplice. It was all for money, but I've always wanted to cut ties with that lot. But I couldn't do it. I had no other way to pay back the money I owed. The money I make as a comedian is just a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, like you said, he was basically earning $50 a month. Okay, so I think we know why we have the gun, but I think there could also be another reason. I think he could have it for defense, or he could have it because he's going to traffic it. So let's ask what he was doing at Horodori Institute before we ask why he has the gun.
Well, the thing on the rooftop of Misaton, you know about it, don't you?
Yes. You walked away with it in your suitcase. It was so you could blackmail someone.
That's right.
Is this related to Horodori Institute somehow?
Oh, there's a
Mr.
papers.
Ryuki, please take a look at this.
Paper saying his son was saying Shoma had no problems with his genes. Yep, if you give it back, you'll be rewarded.
A message?
Look at the sender.
From Terror.
Yeah. A message from Terror. Komeiji, what's going on here? Why do you have a Nile message from a serial killer?
That thing I found belonged to Terror. That's what he was talking about in the message.
Are you saying you tried to blackmail Terror?
I guess so. Anyway, that's why I went
yes,
to Horodori
because that's
Institute.
going to go well.
The entrance was already open by the time I got there.
So he
But
had the
there was no one
gun
inside,
to
as
defend
you know.
himself
I
from
had
a serial
no
killer.
choice but to wait there. And then you showed up.
Okay, well, I guess we'll continue on this line of thought, though. And what is it, then? I'm assuming it has something to do with the papers saying Shoma has no genetic problems, but we'll see.
Do you still intend to hide things from me?
Fine. You have the gun.
You're right. I was involved with gangs and their gun trafficking operations. That's where I stole the gun I had. I was knee-deep in some dangerous business, and I thought
So
I
it was
needed a way to
both.
protect myself.
Both trafficking and for safety.
Mr. Komeiji, I'll ask you one more time. What is this thing that's so important to Terror? Fine. I'll ask a different question. Where is it now?
Will you bring me with you? If you do, I'll tell you.
Why do we need to go with you? Why? Is it in his
Mr.
robot?
Komeiji, isn't this...
Yes, it's my home.
This
It's in the
makes so much
pocket in his
sense that
overalls.
It's actually confusing.
Yeah, it's kind of anticlimactic. So, where can I find it?
Ah, right. Where was it? I must be getting old. I'm having trouble remembering.
Mr. Komeiji, please. You can't tell me that after bringing me all the way here.
I know, but what am I supposed to do if I can't remember?
We have no choice, Ryuki. Let's just start looking around.
Why can't we wink sync? Clearly he's gonna have it on his mind.
Please give me a minute. I'm trying my hardest to remember.
Nothing
Ready to go
here.
out soon.
There's something like seaweed on the ground, though.
I don't think that's relevant right now.
Okay. Don't think the buzzer is relevant. Don't think the remote is it. It's the Addo Rabbit, but Rooster. Check the living room first, check the living room first. Doesn't look relevant.
Ryuki, shall we play hit and cover rock, paper, scissors?
What are you talking about? We don't have time for that.
Look in the room for now. Lucky laugh. Nothing behind the picture. Don't think the poem is relevant. Not in the family altar. Not the TV. I'm actively avoiding the robot, as you can see. Not in the toolbox.
Nothing really stands out.
Oh, nothing in the dresser. Only clothes inside. There we go. Now it says we're good.
Maybe this?
You think this is what Terror was after?
Don't think that's what we're looking for.
There are
X-ray
only
the closet.
coupons inside. I doubt Terror had an interest in this.
Really? I was trying not to click on the robot because...
Mr. Komeiji, are you really sure it's here?
Yes, it should be. How strange. Where could it have gone?
Ryuki, look at this.
It's a robot.
I thought so.
What is he thinking?
I've had enough of this. If you're going to keep lying to me... Huh? Why are you all here?
Ryuki, you left Shoma at Abyss HQ, didn't you? How awful of you to leave him all by himself.
What?
Miss Iris, Miss Mame, and I were having dinner at Yurakucho. Then I got a Nile message from Shoma. That's when we found out about the questioning. We also found out Shoma was in police custody. This is bad.
He's under...
It's a super mega big deal. That's what we all
This
were
is
thinking,
why you
so
were
we
supposed to
handed
tell him that
But
you're
he was
holding
done
him
being
there for his
questioned
own
by the time we
protection.
arrived. That is why we decided to bring him here.
There is a serial killer on the loose.
They all know
idiots.
Shoma?
Seems so. Shoma and Mizuki go to the same elementary school, so that's probably how they are all connected.
Give it up already, Dad! I already hated you for being unfunny, pathetic, and unpopular. And now you're a criminal too?
Doesn't grow on this one, does he?
Yeah, they told me everything.
But it was all for you.
Stop making excuses. You did all that bad stuff, and you're still trying to fight back, lie, and trick your way out of it. I'm sick of it!
Shoma.
Dad, you should just die already!
Oh. No.
What?
What is it?
The divider alone. Big mistake. I'll give you one more chance. Sorry, I should have read it from the top. Big mistake. I'll give you one more chance. Come to divider
This could be
alone.
an opportunity, Ryuki. If we go to Divaita, maybe we can catch Terror.
Mr. Komeiji, we'll put our search aside for now. I'm going to Divaita, alone.
I was definitely supposed to click on the robot, wasn't
For
I?
a dangerous criminal.
No, you can't. Terror will run if you show up. I need to get his guard down first. You should hide somewhere. And once he shows up, you appear.
Are you sure?
Yes. I'll be the bait. This is the least I can do after what I've done.
I was definitely supposed to click on the robot. Here we go. Komeiji went into the studio alone. Before he did, he started a video call on his smartphone. I hid out of sight, watching the video and waiting for something to happen. No matter how long I waited, it seemed like Terror would show up. I eventually ran out of patience and walked into the studio. No, he's gonna get all weird again. Why does that make him do that?
Ryuki, are you okay, Mr. Ryuki?
What happened?
Thomas' battery is dead. His eye's not red.
Oh, good. You're okay.
I don't think I'm injured. Why are you here?
We will explain later. First, can you tell us what happened here?
I don't know. I started seeing things. Then I lost consciousness.
Oh, hey, never mind. She didn't die. Just went into sleep mode or something, I guess.
Phew. I managed to come back.
Tama.
After you lost consciousness, you were attacked from behind. A high voltage current was delivered to your back, and I was short-circuited.
Oh.
I wasn't able to use any of my functions. But, as you can see, I was able to bring myself back online thanks to my self-repair program.
Did Terra do this?
I don't know. I didn't see the attacker. I don't know anything after you lost control of your bladder.
You mean lost consciousness?
Yeah, whatever.
So, where's Komeiji?
I don't see him here.
Don't open that. Shoma. Don't. Shoma. No. Shoma. 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 Don't. Whatever's in there, you do not want to see it. Mama, you just watched him walk over there and you didn't freaking stop him?
No.
Mr. Komeiji, why?
It's the right half of Komeiji's body. I think it's safe to say Terror is the culprit. Ryuki, let's talk to everyone before checking the body.
Okay.
Ryuki, you should talk to the others first.
Okay, can't even inspect the room yet. Okay. Are you okay? No, he's not okay. I'm not sure if I want to link sync, but we're gonna have to, aren't we?
Link sync now. Not enough battery.
Okay.
What can you even say in a situation like this? How could this have happened?
I have to choose these dialogue choices, don't I? Okay, fine.
Of course he's not okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Komeiji was his father.
That's what I freaking said. It's like freaking Mizuki all over again. Add another traumatized child to the list. State to talk, yep.
She seems very shook up. We should let her be for now.
I'm thinking I still gotta click that.
I see. No one saw anything.
That was there when we woke up. You could see it as we turned around the room. I was waiting to have a moment before we called attention to it, but oh.
By anyone, do you mean the culprit?
Well, Anyone at all? Like, any suspicious figures, maybe?
No, we did not see a single soul.
I see.
That is a bit of an exaggeration. We simply untied the rope that bound you.
Rope?
Let's hope.
Must be that one over there.
I was tied up with that?
Yeah, your hands and feet were tied really tight. When we arrived, we found you on the ground in that state. So, Kizzy and I untied the rope. Well...
Ah, there you are.
This guy again.
Here you are, the receipt for your card payment.
Oh, thank you.
Excuse me, but who are you?
A taxi driver.
What? Oh, I am
Or
a
alumnus
humble
gate.
taxi driver. I forgot to hand you the receipt earlier.
So you drove these four here?
Indeed, that is correct. I was always quite bad with machines, you see. I let others handle the TV, the music, and other such things. Oh, one time I wanted to listen to a CD, but I didn't know how to open the CD player, so I smashed it with my fist.
Okay. Why are you telling me this?
That is just how terrible with machines I am. That is why I could not handle the card payment as smoothly as I would have liked. And while I was fumbling my way through the payment...
The girl with the blue hair ran out. Okay. Could have just started with that.
Mame did?
So she got out of the car first.
Naturally, I was quite flustered by this rowdy display. And so I continued to fumble for 3, 4, no, perhaps even 5 minutes or so. I somehow managed to process the payment, but I was still quite bothered. I returned the credit card, but in my haste, I completely forgot to hand over the receipt.
What were the other three in the back seat doing during all that?
They were waiting the entire time. The card was Kizzy's, but she was sitting on the far left seat, so Shoma and I didn't get out.
Well, now that that's settled, I
Nope,
will
sorry,
be
buddy.
off.
You walked in here.
If you'll excuse me.
We're seriously just gonna let him walk away? Isn't this still open? Is that not open anymore? It looks like it's open. That looks like an opening right there. So he just... Okay.
Yes. Kizzy, Shoma, and I went into the studio together. Mame was already inside.
What is it, Ryuki? Does something bother you about that?
No, it's nothing.
You find it interesting how she was the only one with a sense of urgency. I also am still wondering why they came here. Alrighty, Iris, this isn't the first dead body you've seen. But you good?
I guess so.
Fair enough.
I figured that something was up with you guys at Shoma's house earlier. I heard you were talking about terror and going to Divida, so I got worried and came over.
Oh, so she heard us,
We
okay.
did not come here right away. We first discussed whether we should track you down. I think it was about 2.5 hours after you left that we decided. We thought we should just come straight here and...
It's 11:30 p.m. now, by the way.
Okay.
No, I didn't see anyone until we got inside the studio.
Talma, have you contacted Abyss and HQ?
Way ahead of you. The investigation team should arrive soon. I've also arranged for a counselor.
That's
All
good.
4 of them are in a really bad mental state.
Shoma?
Are you okay?
He's gonna think he did it. Gonna blame himself.
Shoma, wait!
Don't just stand there, Ryuki. Go after him.
Right.
By the time I ran out of the studio, Shonen was already gone. The other three must have decided to split up because they were scattered in different directions. It'd be better to search a wider area and got in my car, but
I don't see him anywhere. No response on his phone, and his GPS is off. Where did you go, Shoma?
We had to find him after he stormed out like that. Who knows what he'll do in this state. Calm down, Ryuki. Think about where Shoma might go.
Where he might go. I got it. Shoma must be there.
the Ferris Wheel. Again. Yep.
Shoma!
Well, no big deal. It's a Ferris wheel. He'll come back down if we just wait.
Say that he's gonna... Something's gonna go wrong here. And I don't like it. Yeah, I really don't like that pan out shot. Or that zoom out shot. I really don't like that. Well known. Ryuki Chapter 4, Route 1.
Anyway, this is all a load of bull. Today is Valentine's Day.
What?
It's past midnight, so it's February 14th now.
Oh, but I don't really care about that right now.
How can you not care?
More importantly, Shoma was on the number 2 car, right?
Why do you ask?
It's gone by again?
Yes, he definitely went in number 2.
And he didn't hop out.
I thought so. If that's the case, he should be back soon.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say that he didn't appear in the car when it went by or something. I just jinxed it, didn't I? He's not gonna be in there.
What? No.
Yeah.
How? How? We checked every one of the cars, but I don't see Shoma anywhere.
We are living in a false world created by a program.
Oh, shut up, Tokiko.
Therefore, if we can rewrite its code, we can create miracles.
It can't be. Impossible. It can't be. It can't be. I know Shoma went on that car. I saw it with my own eyes. And yet...
And he's broken.
Hold on.
Again.
Don't tell me it's happening again.
It is. I'm gonna make a face on this model, so whenever it happens, I can just push a button and I make the same face he does. So where is he then? If you're assuming he glitched out of the car,
Tom,
where did he go?
Do you know about this place? I heard about it from Mr. Date. This shrine worships a fruit called the Fruit of Immortality.
Looks like an
if
orange.
If you eat it, you will gain eternal youth and life.
Only in your dreams,
Hey,
though.
Ryuki, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're not well. Mentally, I mean.
Oh, no.
You haven't been for a long time now, and I think it's getting worse. You should really see somebody.
I'm fine. Coming to this shrine has calmed me down.
You don't
Coming
look
here
fine.
doesn't solve anything. Praying to a god or Buddha isn't going to heal your heart.
Please, Ryuki.
Okay.
Okay then. You want me to go to the hospital? Before I do, let me ask for one thing. Can you replay the scene from Studio Devita right now?
Ryuki.
I want to solve the HB case, no matter what. No, I have to solve it. For Komeiji. Especially now that he's...
Sheesh, you really... Fine, I'll do it. But promise me that after the investigation, you'll...
Yes, I'll go get checked out.
Promise, okay?
Yeah.
More than just get checked
Now,
out, buddy.
Close your eyes.
Please.
Let's do this.
I mean, we already know he doesn't.
So, what did you want to investigate here?
The body?
Something's been bothering me. You see that camera on the tripod that's tipped over? When we got here...
It wasn't like that.
Why did it fall over?
Could it have been terror?
But why?
I don't understand why, but it could only have been him.
No.
Maybe he kicked
that's
it and
not
is
true. There's
all
another person that could have
unconscious?
tipped it over.
Or Komeiji. Yeah, that's
when
true.
we regained consciousness, there were 4 people here.
Who, I
Iris,
guess?
Kizuna, Mame, and Shoma. The first one to go into the studio
So there's
was...
7 people who could have kicked it over.
Amame. That's what Iris and Kizuna said. Are you suggesting Amame tipped over the camera?
It's entirely possible.
But why would she do that?
That's what I'm going to figure out.
Here we go. Okay. So we wanted to look at the corpse, right? Let's take a look at other stuff first. Just see. Is there anything interesting coming from any of these? Anything from behind the barriers? Oh. There's footprints. We see that now. Nope. Nothing but natural heat from the lights. Okay, yeah, we only have normal and demo. Okay, well, let's take a look at the body
What's
then.
the estimated time of death?
Roughly an hour and a half ago. Based on the time the body
buddy,
was discovered,
that's...
of course.
That's
so
a fuse
roughly
in there.
10 p.m., February 13th. We
I
woke up
can-
here around 11:30 p.m.
Something there. So he woke up around 11:30, and he died at... Or no, excuse me, 10. 10. He died at 10. I know how to read a 24-hour clock, I swear. He died an hour and a half before. Yeah, see, what's that right there? You're seriously just gonna tell me it's nothing? Okay. Fine, whatever.
It really isn't standing up.
Yeah.
Could it be the alcohol's fault? It happens all the time. Don't worry about it.
What are you talking about?
Okay. Objects other than the camera tipped over. Such as the place over here with the hot
The
water.
floor is wetter than my...
Don't.
Please don't even say it.
Would you prefer the word moist? I think there was hot water in the kettle. It must have been in keep warm mode. That must have fell and... Footprints from the water. Saying that it's still warm, the prints couldn't be more than a few minutes old by the time this data was gathered.
So right before we regained consciousness?
Yeah.
Can you tell me whose prints they are?
Judging from the shape and size, absolutely Amame's.
The prints lead to the door over there.
Yeah, but why are they going
door
out?
on the west side.
That's my question, is why are they going out?
The door on the west side of the building is locked. I don't think we can open it from this side.
Are there any other exits?
The only other door is the door to the east, the one we entered from.
So, east and west. Just the 2 exits.
So there's another one. Another secret 80 levels below the ground. Freaky cult basement thing. Okay, so we need to inspect the kettle.
The kettle is on the floor.
Must have fallen off the table.
I wonder how it fell.
Someone did a pile driver on it. Either that or it was bumped or something. There's a power cord on that table. I think it's for the electric kettle.
Probably means the kettle was here.
Am I missing something here?
That one video is playing on the monitor.
This is where you lost consciousness. And me, right after.
Visual spot on the rope that was used to tie up Ryuki.
It's the rope that had you in the tortoiseshell bondage position.
Tortoiseshell? No, that's not true.
Oh? Was it a crab tie?
Why?
No crabs, no tortoises, no shrimp, nothing. Anyway, look at the rope. There's a fake nail.
It matches what Amame had on.
I mean, she was the one who untied me, right?
Okay, it looks like we're pretty much done investigating here. I think I can make one conclusion.
Oh? Care to share what that is?
First, think about what Mame did when she first entered the studio.
She went to that door.
I think she headed straight to the door to the west.
Why?
Why indeed?
You better come up with something better than that, or I'm going to zap you.
Well, there's footprints there. Okay, fine.
She knocked over the camera.
Why would she do that?
Maybe she thought it was a 3-legged alien. She thought they were invading Earth, so...
Take this seriously, or I'm going to chop off your third leg.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's interesting though that it's tilted this way, because now that I actually think about it, if she was running by and she bumped into it, it wouldn't have fallen over this way, it would have fallen over this way. Which means it was either knocked over intentionally or knocked over when running back from this door.
Judging from the trail, I think she came to me first. She couldn't have come to me after stepping in the warm water, because if she did, it would have left prints.
Oh.
So the first thing she did must have been to try to untie me. That's when a bit of her nail broke and stuck to the rope. But then, something happened that stopped her.
Something?
I'll tell you later. Anyway, she stopped trying to untie me.
Where did she go from there?
Here. Mame must have been in a hurry. She tipped over the camera by accident.
And then what?
But why is it in this direction? That's what I don't understand.
She came here next. Mame ran into the table, which caused the kettle to fall, and the hot water spilled on the floor.
And then?
She stepped in the puddle, which caused the soles of her feet to still be warm. Which is why we have hot footprints running over to the west door.
Well, if we trace her footprints, they stopped right in front of the western door. but the door was locked and it didn't open, so she couldn't get out. And then... Tama, do you have any ideas why Mame stopped trying to untie me?
Mm-hmm, I sure do. But continue. I want to hear what you're thinking.
Okay, here's my answer. It's simple, actually. I think Mame saw Terror enter the studio. While she was untying me, Terror came across the scene. They ran over to her to try to take her out. That's why the body was left in such an unnatural position.
I see. We're on the same page. There are still some question marks, but... well, putting that thread aside for now, shall we get started?
Start what?
Filming, duh.
Again?
You got a problem?
Dude, but we're still only at
So,
80%.
Are you ready?
No.
Okay, here we go.
I said no.
Ready? Action! I'm going to cast her
Mame.
as a Mame. Recreate her movements. Let's start with when she first ran into the studio.
Her first move was...
What? Oh no! Mr. Ryuki is tied up!
You're a
Dang,
really
bro.
shitty actor.
He's got good
What did you
range, though.
expect?
Ryuki! Mr. Ryuki! Mr. Ryuki! Snap out of it!
This is when her nail fell off.
Mame tried to untie the rope, and...
That's when Terror ran into her.
Since Terror is blocking the east door, she can't go that way. So she tried to run to the other door.
Okay, let's see your best performance. Gag.
Why do you make me do this?
Okay, go on, run away.
And then, run into the camera. Then run into the table, and that drops the kettle, and...
Holding on to the
she
name
discovers
tag.
the west door is completely locked. Ugh.
Cut! You were doing so well.
And that's where the 80% comes in.
Anyway, she was cornered and... huh. What happened after that? This is what I was trying to get at earlier. And one more thing. When you asked Amame if she saw the culprit, she shook her head. Why did she lie?
Hey, Tama. You collected all the data in this studio, right? Including X-ray?
Yeah?
In that case...
Finally, I was gonna say... well, actually, I did say, we only have normal and thermal for this one. There we go. And I'm going straight over here first. Really? Oh. Wait, why is the buckle for the stretcher showing up through the case? Interesting. Oh. Why was there no heat signature back there, though? Could have sworn there was no heat signature back there when we went and we looked at it through the thermal.
That looks suspicious.
Let's take a look.
I knew it.
What? Terror?
I think so.
So when we regained consciousness, they were in the studio?
That must be the case. Wait, you didn't notice, Tama? I thought you had X-ray vision.
I thought it was part of the set.
Anyway, they have a gun?
Yeah, a 50 caliber automatic handgun. That could do some real damage.
Automatic? Automatic? Are you sure? Sure about
This
that
next
part?
bit is just speculation, but Terror headed to the western door and cornered Mame, but then must have heard footsteps coming from the other door. Iris, Kizuna, and Shoma. Of course, Terror probably had no idea who they were. Terror must have said something like,
Don't tell them I'm here. You do.
Then they hid in the
Did
set,
you?
since their only escape
I was too slow.
cut off.
That's why Amame lied. She couldn't have said anything with terror threatening her.
Probably. What a shame. Terror was right there, but we couldn't get them.
There was nothing we could have done. Shoma was the top priority.
Anyway, there's only one thing we need to do. Let's find Mame. She saw Terror in person. She's a key witness now. Maybe she has some information.
Okay, where's
Something
Shoma,
about
though?
Terror we don't know. Maybe a voice or how they walk. Hey, Tama. Where is Mame?
I don't know. Her smartphone is either off or somewhere with no reception.
Or taken by Terror. It's time to call Kizuna and Iris again. Ask if they knew where Mame was. None of them picked up.
Hold on a second. What about your promise?
Fine, I'll get checked. And I want to talk to Shoma. He's at home now, right?
Wait, he is? Because that's what Thomas said before I came to the shrine. No idea how he was able to get... Me neither. It's related to all this, but I had a strong desire to find out.
So we have 3 objectives. Finding Amame, getting checked up at the hospital, and meeting with Shoma, right?
Yeah.
So when she says get
Fine.
checked up at the hospital, you don't really have a choice, do you?
Special for partners. Valentine's Day.
Cute, but also, hold on.
I don't know. Why don't you tell me? Anyway, let's get going.
He's like, you're oblivious. Okay. But when she says get checked out of the hospital, have we just not gotten our shoulder checked and that's what she wants us to do? Or does she want us to go and meet a therapist right now? Because if so, I don't think that's the hospital. Or maybe I'm just an idiot. And I don't know, maybe I'm an idiot. Hi, Tom. Now, we kind of discovered this last time due to just pure accident. So if we go and we go into Tama's room right now, she might have something special to say.
Hey, what's wrong? You're burning up.
No one really talks with their friends about what they saw on TV last night anymore, huh? I mean, technically no. But I got a fairly active conversation with a buddy of mine about what VTuber streams we saw last night, so it's pretty darn close. Just change TV and you got it pretty much right.
No one really talks with their friends about what they saw on TV last night anymore, huh?
Even if they did, you don't have friends anyway.
Ooh. Okay. Well, I figured there might be something special because last time when we were ending, we were on the Ferris wheel. And she commented how weird it was that we were having that conversation on the Ferris wheel. I don't know. I figured there might be something since we changed scenes. I guess not. Let's we go. Let's go to the hospital first, I guess. There's a lot of other stuff besides our 3 objectives there. But okay. Oh, I guess one of the objectives was meet multiple different people, so that's fair, I guess. And it's happening again. Oh.
I'm glad we had an open room for you. It's quiet here. You should be able to relax and focus on your treatment.
Treatment?
Oh, you don't have to worry about the paperwork for your stay here. We'll handle everything.
Hold on. My stay here? What are you talking about?
You don't remember?
Remember what?
This is troubling.
Yeah, what are we staying here for? Because I have like 3 different things. 1, anything related to the investigation. 2, our mental health. 3, we got shot in the freaking shoulder. Which one of those is it?
Doctor, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be doing this at the hospital. Put your ball away. No playing Kusemon Go in the hospital.
Okay, that last one was funny to me. So how long
It's
have I
been a
been
few
here?
hours since you arrived.
Yep, we did the thing again.
Impossible.
I guess we'll look around the room. The bedside table, an LCD TV, a window, a curtain, vitals, a bed, a door, bathroom door specifically, a cupboard, sink. Can't look at ourselves in the mirror. Can't look at the chair. Other door. Okay, well, let's just ask who they are. They're a nurse, but...
My name is Hanayo Nasu. I'm a nurse at this hospital.
Okay.
I used to go by a different name.
You got married?
No, the opposite. I got
Oh.
a divorce. So I'm going back to my maiden name.
Well then. The previous game, she was engaged to the Yakuza guy. I guess that... Nope. I'm sorry, oops.
Mr. Ryuki, do you remember getting a checkup?
Nope.
I'm sure the doctor would have told you everything.
No, I have no idea.
I see. Then I'm afraid I'll have to be the bearer of bad news. Mr. Ryuki, you have what we call cognitive dysfunction. Sometimes you'll forget what time it is or where you are, even lose track of the people around you. It's all part of your condition. In addition to that, we believe that you have a short-term memory disorder.
Tama, is this true?
Yes, it is.
This is difficult for me to say, but your condition is very serious. We need to begin treatment immediately.
And with that, I guess we leave? We can decide...
I'm going to get the files. I'll be
No?
right back, so please wait here. Excuse me.
Clearly it doesn't just end here. We just up and leave, don't we?
Okay, I went to the hospital like I promised. Now let's get going, Tama.
Yep.
What are you talking about? That nurse told you that you need to stay here.
I don't have time for that. I need to solve this case. Please, Tama. Just 3 more days.
I refuse.
Fine, just 1 day. 24 hours is all I ask. Please let me do this. Please. I'll give you some chocolate later.
Are you joking? You know I can't eat chocolate.
No, I mean like emotional chocolate.
Ah, fine. But you're only getting 24 hours.
And what in the world
A
is
second
emotional
longer.
chocolate?
Thanks, Tama.
No, really, what is emotional chocolate? No one's gonna question. Okay, no one's gonna question that. No one's. Okay.
Welcome. We aren't open yet, though.
You know the drill, Mama.
I've got something for you, Ryuki.
What?
It's hard, and it'll leave a mess all over your hands.
I know exactly what Mama's talking about.
It's chocolate.
That's what I was going to say.
It's Valentine's Day. I wanted all my customers to get some.
There's literally no good way for me to phrase what I'm about to say. Yeah, no, there's no good way for me to phrase this. I don't care as long as you don't talk about your balls again. That's all I ask. A cult poster.
Ryuki, Want to see a video of balls getting hit with a hard stick?
Ooh, I'm curious.
It's baseball.
It's just billiards.
Oh, that works too, I guess.
I like getting into holes, if you know what I mean.
What are you talking about?
Oh, don't make me say it.
You mean...
Spelunking.
That has nothing to do with the bar counter.
No, it really doesn't. You're right. Wait, best eats in the Eastern world, I guess. Okay, that's what that said. Beer tap? No beer puns? Really? We're not gonna get a single beer pun when we click on the beer tap? Come on, mama. Why are we counting the bottles again? It's practice. Okay, fair enough. Can't click on the fridge. Oh, not that. The ball. Not even the crystal balls. Not even magic balls. Just the balls.
Special pinchos, huh?
I'd like to taste your pinchos too.
Okay. I think that... Oh, there's something over here. Oh, just the blackboard again. Okay, so there's the present. What if we just don't open it and we thank her for the chocolate?
Thanks for the chocolate. I appreciate it.
Don't thank me, honey. Just don't forget to get me something on White Day.
What do you want?
Well, you can return the favor.
Meaning?
Something hard that will leave a mess all over my hands.
Oh, the box is gone now. I figured we were gonna actually open it and, like, eat the chocolate. Okay, Mama.
Oh, you want to know why there are 2 balls? This way, I have a spare if one stops working.
Fair enough. Okay, I guess anything specific about the HB case?
Information, huh? Oh, I saw something online. There's this creepy video going around. Do you know about it?
A little too well,
Are you talking
yes.
about the NirvanA trial?
No, not that one. There's another one. It was released at midnight. It's called NirvanA X.
Oh.
X?
That's right.
Ryuki, I looked it up.
Don't show
Once
it to
again,
us.
the original uploader is anonymous.
Don't show it.
It's just like that QR video. I thought it might have something to do with the HB case.
Mama, did you watch the video?
Yeah, I have it saved on my smartphone.
Don't show it to
Wanna
us.
see?
No.
No, Ryuki, don't do it.
Thank you, Tama.
Something bad might happen again.
Okay. The YouTube videos that have been released so far have not included anything that would induce a subliminal effect. But that doesn't mean they're safe. There is a possibility that there was a special production technique. Why is this so slow? That only works on people like Ryuki, who have suffered some kind of trauma. The subliminal effect is a phenomenon in which a stimulus is given below the threshold of human perception, causing unconscious desires and emotions to arise in the person. I don't like that that's an option, and I don't want to click watch it. Let's ask where Mame is before we go and essentially black out for the next 8 hours.
I don't follow. Did she get into trouble?
She may have come into contact with terror. She might have valuable information.
Well, okay then. Let's ask the Big Milky Balls.
Could you call them something
Add
else?
one request.
Almighty Balls, who has the softest, bounciest skin in all the land? That is Mama, of course. That's right. Oh, you know it.
Alright,
Who
time
gives
for
a shit?
Careful.
I agree.
Thank you, Thomas.
Now, serious mode this time. Oh, Balls, the great and powerful, please find someone for me. Her name is Amame Doi. Where is she right now?
You should go to the Nice Japan branch. You should gain some valuable information there.
Ooh.
Back to knives
How
again,
was
huh?
it?
Thanks, that was helpful. The Nice Japan branch.
Are you going to take her seriously?
It helped us
Not
last time.
necessarily, but it won't hurt to check, right?
I mean, like, it legitimately did help us out last time, right? Okay, fine, we'll click it.
Mama, please.
Since we don't have any other option.
Okay then. I'm going to stream it on the screen over there. It's probably better to watch it on a bigger screen. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Clickety-click.
$21512DD TCFGGD AEIGAHE. I didn't exactly have time to write that down. And Ryuki's gonna do the thing again. Don't.
What did I tell you? I warned you!
You okay?
Huh? I think I'm okay.
Yeah. Don't scare me like that.
Can I watch that one more time so I can, like, write it down on a piece of paper or something? Do I have a piece of paper? Well, let's see if it's an option first. It's probably not. Okay. Well, if it is, then I'll pause the game, and then I'll be ready to write it down.
Judging by the name, it's gotta have something to do with the NirvanA initiative. The incidents at Shinjuku might be related too.
What incidents?
Well, one example is what happened with that rocket. Luckily, there weren't any casualties. Anyway, I think that was like a test run for the initiative, but we don't know anything for sure. Where the actual show will happen, who's behind it and why, we don't know any of the details.
We do have a clue as to when, though. The NirvanA X video. There were 2 codes on there. One of them was 2151200.
21512. Oh, hold on. Oh. That should work, right? Where do I have a piece of paper? I should have one somewhere around here. Just a random piece of scrap paper, that's all I need. Do I really not have any scrap paper? I really should have some. Yeah, here we go. This'll do. I want to see if I can decode this before before Thomas says it. So, 2. Oh, come on, you darn thing. Okay, apparently that has no ink. What about this one? Okay, this one still has a little ink left. 2, 1, 5, 1, 2, 0, 0. There could be a time. It could be 2. Could be 2:15, 12. So it could be 2 a.m. Or excuse me, 2:15 a.m. 12 seconds into the minute. Or it could be 21:51, 20, and then 0 milliseconds. So then that would be 9:51 p.m. Right? Yeah, 9:51 p.m. 20 seconds into the minute, 0 milliseconds. Okay, and the next one?
I think it's a date and a time.
Oh. Oh. You think it's February 15th at noon or midnight, depending on what. I'm assuming it's still using 24-hour time, so at noon.
February 15, 12 p.m.
Yeah, noon tomorrow.
The date and time when the NirvanA initiative will begin.
There's not much time.
What about the letters?
Not sure about that one.
Let's write them down and take a look. See. Oh. Come on, pens. I know I've been using you for several years now, but you can't be. I can't have all of my pens be that low in ink. D. Anna. A. E. I. G. A. H. E. So we could just brute force it, theoretically. If it's a Caesar cipher, which means it's literally just the alphabet but shifted over X number of letters, we could brute force it, just go through the entire alphabet, and at some point maybe we would find what it is. But if it's not a Caesar cipher, then that's pointless. It's not hex or anything, because you don't go past F in hex. Oh. Drop my pen. I'm assuming it's 2 words. Six letters in the first one, 7 in the second. It's gonna have to be something different than a Caesar cipher. Because with the first word, CC and GG that close to each other, I can't think of any word that has double letters like that. I'll keep thinking about it, but I'll let it play.
The numbers represented a time and date, so I'm guessing those were for a location.
A location? We have a lot to think about now.
Let's get a move on.
Okay, I wrote him down. Keep thinking about him. I guess let's go to the Japan branch. Oh, it's this guy again.
It was 2 days ago that Tokiko's body was found here. The
Mhm.
investigation is still ongoing.
So, what are you planning on doing here? Mame wouldn't be here.
I didn't come here expecting to find Mame.
You should go to the Nice Japan branch. You should gain some valuable information there.
What valuable information could be here?
Information on where Mame could
Let's
be.
look around.
Hey, do we need to reopen the thing behind the waterfall again? You guys can get in there. A waterfall, houseplant, nice symbol, a statue, a light, a big window, pond, regulation lines, a door. What's your name?
So that's how it's gonna be. Well, I suppose it's not that bad. Is this getting a little too scripted?
No, not at
What
all.
people want. Anyway, my name is Kagami. That's my line. Huh? Did you forget already?
Yeah, we actually have a
My name is
condition
Kagami.
that makes us forget.
Ka, K-A, Ga, G-A, me, M-I.
I already know his name. Are we sure? Pretty sure. But are we really, really sure? No, okay, we better ask it
Very
again.
well. Mr. Ryuki, you can give me a nickname. That way, you won't forget.
A nickname, huh? Something easy to remember would be good, right?
Exactly.
He says
How
Kagami.
about Kagami? That's an easy nickname to remember.
Why me?
Because it's funny.
This has become a difficult situation. There are many factors to consider, taking into account probability and all. Oh, what dating app should I use?
Really, buddy, that's what you're thinking about. That's what you're thinking about. Okay, where's the body?
The body is long gone for the autopsy. It really is a shame. She was killed right before her birthday. Tokiko's birthday is February 15th. There was a huge party planned for her here. It really is such a shame.
Well, maybe we know a little bit more about the significance of the 15th. What do you know about Mame?
Do you know this girl? Her name is Amame Doi.
Oh, I know her. She's a mermaid at Sunfish Pocket.
That's true, but how do you know that?
He's been there before.
Well, I've
I
been there a
feel like
few
that's
times.
fairly simple.
I wanted to investigate the day-to-day lives of young women.
As an inspector?
I need to know what's in. It's an important part of being an inspector.
That's a tough sell.
Do you know where she is now?
No, I wouldn't know. I can tell you that she isn't working right now, though. I heard from another girl that she hasn't been feeling well recently.
Right. It's unlikely that she'd be at Sunfish Pocket. Mame saw Terror at the studio. And right after that, she saw Komeji's body. It's unlikely she'd be at work with all that going on.
Oh, so since when can we put a hologram in her hand? Oh, I suppose this will tell us. The image of Amame that appeared on Ryuki's hand. It's a hologram shot out from my left eye. My main body. My being Thomas. How cool am I, huh? Evidence markers, a laptop, office desk, chair. It's an officer. Well, let's be polite first. How are you?
It's all right now, because
I should have known.
am here.
I should have known.
Half-bites, Northern Mariana Islands, smash!
Okay, you know what? I'll accept that one. That one's good. That one's good. Continuing the reference, that's good. Alrighty, any new intel?
There isn't anything here. Amame.
It's this girl.
Don't recognize her.
Fair enough. Can't expect everyone to know everyone, right? Alrighty, buddy. Ushidera. Let's ask that first, since it's not open.
You talking about the Underground Cathedral? It's
Yeah.
off limits right now. There's concerns that it might collapse.
So you don't know about the box?
The box?
There was a box there with a strange-looking device. Tama, can you show the image?
Sorry, I don't have it.
What?
Ryuki, when you went to the cathedral, you fell off the bridge, remember? The impact caused me to lose some of my memory. I was only able to recover up to finding Tokiko's body in the president's office.
No backups?
Because it was so deep underground, there was no signal down there.
Come to think of it, there were some network problems.
Exactly. So I couldn't upload the data to the cloud.
Damn.
Okay.
It's not a lead or anything,
but
it is interesting.
What is?
It's gonna take some time to prepare. I'll let you know when I'm ready. Ryuki, I'm ready. It's what I mentioned to you earlier.
Oh, please go ahead.
What?
Look at that pond over there.
Okay. She has a hologram.
It's Tokiko's hologram.
Right.
Her laptop was in the desk. There was a program running. This. I think it's some software aimed at these cultists. Needless to say, it's just an image, so she can't really interact with you. But she does talk. Lectures, even. If you give her a topic, she'll give some pre-recorded response. You can choose from 4. Moksha, gain. Form is emptiness, and the allegory of the cave. There's other data in there too somewhere, but it'll take time to get at.
Okay. Before we do that, do you have anything on Mame?
Who?
This girl.
No. I don't know where she is.
I see.
Okay. Well, thanks for being straight to the point. Game.
This world is a simulation. Thus, its creator must have created with intention. This intention we can never know for certain. But we can surmise and we can estimate. Imagine you attempt an action, but that action is prevented by something incomprehensible to you. It is reasonable to assume that action was something not considered by the creator. Contrarily, if you attempt an action and feel yourself compelled by some otherworldly force, it is probably something the creator did expect. Like rats trapped in a maze. Go in the wrong direction and receive a shock. Go in the right direction and receive a prize. Considering this, perhaps this simulation is actually a game. A game about escaping this inscrutable maze. Can you win this game? The creator probably wants you to.
What I'm hearing is you think we're living in The Sims. What in the world is Moksha?
Moksha, or enlightenment.
Okay, I understand now.
One is only truly free when free from all desires. But this state of mind is not something that can be easily defined or described in words. It is implicit knowledge. It is not something you can understand without experiencing it for yourself. Imagine, for example, someone who has never seen the color red. It is impossible to explain to that person what the color red is.
Not quite.
You can't truly understand the redness of the color red until you experience it. Moksha is similar in this way. So how can you reach moksha? Among Hindu followers are those known as the sadhu. They follow a strict spiritual path of penance in an attempt to reach moksha. For example, one may stand on just one leg for decades, or try to roll across the entire Indo-Chinese continent. One may live on a bed of nails. Another might strike his head upon a pillar thousands of times. Among Buddhists, there are the ascetics. They perform a 1,000-day circumambulation, walking 30 miles a day around steep mountains. And they chant the mantras without pausing to eat, drink, or even sleep for 9 whole days. It is said that the founder of Zen Buddhism, the monk Bodhidharma, sat cross-legged facing a wall without rest for 9 years straight. But how do all these things achieve moksha? Is it because pain and penance cause your desires and thoughts to dull and disappear? That may be part of it. Or is it perhaps the state of nothingness that comes over you upon achieving these feats? One may come to the conclusion that desires themselves are illusory. Knives has a slightly different interpretation. Do you know how a debugger finds bugs in games? They try to run into walls over and over and over again. They go to places that normal players won't go, or leave the game on for days. They do things that normal players don't do. Unpredictable actions that the programmers failed to anticipate. That is how bugs that weren't even considered in the planning stages are found. Does this remind you of anything? Hitting your head on a pillar 1,000 times. Sitting toward a wall for 9 years. What if these actions were not anticipated by the creator? What if these actions uncovered bugs in the real world? What if they revealed the seams? In other words, these practitioners of the extraordinary are trying to find the seams. Find them and achieve enlightenment. Learn the secret of this world, the truth. And so we believe that moksha is this journey.
Okay. Bodhidharma meditated in the direction of the wall for 9 years. There have been idioms created of this. Since he was in the same position for so long, his limbs rotted off. Which is why the Daruma dolls sold in stores look the way they look. Huh. I have no idea if that's true or not, but if it is, interesting. Form is emptiness, I guess. We'll just go through them all.
Emptiness is form. So reads the doctrines in Buddhist scriptures. Emptiness is not separate from form. Form is not separate from emptiness. Whatever is form is emptiness. Whatever is emptiness is form. Emptiness is sometimes translated as void or nothingness. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Everything in this world is false. False is this world to the core. Shotok Taishi, who spread Buddhism in Japan, said something similar. All is false. Buddha is truth. The first part of the quote is self-explanatory. The latter requires context. Buddha, in this instance, is being used as a substitute for the general concept of enlightenment, Bodhi, Satori. Thus, the quote can be interpreted to mean, The sole truth of this world is enlightenment. Everything else is a falsehood. I will give another example. The butterfly dream, a famous legend told by Xuangtzu, one of the founders of Taoism. One day, Xuangtzu was a butterfly in a dream. He awoke from his dream with a question. Was his being a butterfly a dream? Or is this world he awoke in a dream?
That one.
Many notable people in history have had similar thoughts. These same questions have been passed down for thousands of years. Why is that? Could there be a truth hidden in all this? The allegory of the cave is a story first told by Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher. There are prisoners imprisoned in a dark cave. These prisoners have never witnessed the outside world. All they can see are shadows projected on the walls in front of them. Merely the shadows of grass and trees, flocks of birds. Even families of deer would be shown from time to time. But the prisoners who have never seen the outside world believe these shadows to be the truth, reality they do not doubt or question. One day, one of the prisoners unchains themselves and escapes the cave. They see real grass, real trees, real flocks of birds, and real deer. At that time, they saw the world as it truly is. Overwhelmed with emotion, they head back to the cave to tell the other prisoners of their discovery.
Everything we've seen until now have been shadows, false images. The outside world is completely different.
None of the other prisoners believe the escapee. Have they gone insane? They laugh. Do you understand this allegory? The escapee was enlightened with the truth and reached moksha. So what about you? Do you plan to live your days chained in a cave, scraping by a living in a world of falsehood and fraud? Or do you plan to join us? The decision needs to be made. Please demonstrate your determination.
Demonstrate your determination? What does that mean? I guess that's enough.
Well, that sure was something. Didn't help much, though.
No, not really, no.
This information might come in handy later.
If you say so.
Anyway,
There's gotta be a
there was
clue
no
to something in there.
information on Amame. Let's go somewhere else.
Okay, the Kamakura office.
Hey, Ryuki, what's up?
I wanted to ask you something.
But first I'm gonna inspect every little thing around your office first. It's a window. The locker by the window. Sort of permit. Those who only eat crackers in a cracker and peanut mix should be executed. Once plans. 25th, go see dolphins at the aquarium. Nice.
It's my dream to do it on a sofa.
Why would you even say that out loud?
Hey, look! I'm a flying squirrel!
Did you hear something?
That's a joke.
Nope, nothing.
Well, a reference to a joke made before. Ashtray, a low table, tiger rug, door, partition, chair, desk, lockers. Oh, that's the phone. Another door. Dragons.
Hey, Ryuki, see those lanterns?
Don't make the same
You're
joke.
not gonna do one of your stupid sex jokes again, are you?
Really? You see them?
Please don't make me participate in this.
Do you see them, Ryuki?
Yes.
What are they?
Lanterns.
Lantern these nuts?
I quit. I was expecting that to come when I inspected the dragon. I was literally just about to say, I am bracing for a D's nuts joke when I expect the dragon, and I didn't say it out loud, so now it just seems like I totally wasn't thinking it at all because I just made it up just to make the... Ow. Freaking... Can't freaking believe it.
You want me to
Cannot
hack it,
freaking
right?
believe it.
I tried, but the security is too strong. But if you give me about 2-3 minutes, I'll be all good.
I didn't ask.
Iva was able to hack it almost instantly, wasn't she?
Squeak, squeak.
Okay, it's a mouse. Here's his chair. Okay, now the chairman himself. What you thinking about, Wilma? Is it a D's nuts joke? Because if so, I'm going to turn off the game and then stream right here.
Oh shit, a shooting star. I want chocolate from Tessa. I want chocolate from Tessa. I want chocolate. Damn it, I couldn't say a third one in time.
Is that how that works? I've never heard that. Alright,
Not bad. Tonight, Tessa is gonna have a Valentine's Day stream. Oh, thinking about it makes my heart dance. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'll say it like every other streamer out there. I'll say it like that because based on what we literally just saw on the Wink Sync, I think he's interested for other reasons. But I get excited to watch other streamers stream. Usually on stuff like Valentine's Day, they do something fun. I've seen people read dating applications. I've seen people go and make chocolate. People could still be entertaining and be on theme or whatever, but it seems like it's a little bit different from just looking forward to a stream. Seems like it's a little bit something else, a little bit parasocial. But if not, and I'm wrong, then great, good for you, buddy. Have fun. Any information on the case?
Yakuza have connections all throughout the underworld, so I thought you might know something. Anything would help. Rumors, anything.
Rumors, huh? So our parent group, the Ujisaki, there's this higher up that's connected to NICE.
Oh.
I did hear something from him. The president of NICE Japan, Tokiko Shigure, she was in a relationship with the head of Horodori Institute, Chikara Horodori.
What?
Of course, this isn't recent. We're talking decades ago. Back then, Tokiko wasn't even the boss. She was just some grunt at NICE. But Chikara, on the other hand, was pretty high up the ladder at NICE. Used his newfound power to get with Tokiko. Back when she was in her 20s, I heard she was a hottie. But like I said, she was young and naive. Chikara basically tricked her. He was married at the time, even had kids. Tokiko was his mistress. Real secret relationship type shit.
That's, nope. That's not good. The Ujisaki family is a diabolical criminal group. Basically, they earn their income through illegal activities in the underworld. But they also seem to be receiving requests for work from secret societies. seems that they have connections with the Freemasons. You know, Freemasons, a fraternal society said to have been created in the late 16th or early 17th century. Please don't go into the conspiracy theories of this. They have members all over the world, that is true. Call each other brother, and they operate the Grand Lodge, their headquarters. Symbol of the fraternity, the Builder's Square, and a compass. The tools of masonry. Oh, and one more thing. The Eye of Providence is also famous. It's a triangle with the shape of an eye in it. I mentioned that's the Illuminati, isn't it? Design is also considered one of the symbols of Freemasonry. By the way, again, apparently, there is a story that the Boy Scouts of America was also created by Freemasons. Nothing about the Illuminati. Thank you. Boy Scouts of America is an ostensibly, I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced, is ostensibly an organization that seeks to improve the character of its members to make good people even better. But, and they, there. Come on. I don't know. It's maybe just because I know people who are part of the Freemasons that I'm like, I get annoyed with all the conspiracy theory stuff. I don't know. That's just me, though. Alrighty, Momo.
Yeah,
Tell me more
that's
about
all
that.
I know about that. But I do have some more dirt on Chikara. This was also decades ago, but
New experimentation?
Chikara went to child service agencies all over Japan and got something from them.
What?
DNA samples. He said it's for DNA treatment or something, but I don't buy it. My guess is he was doing something shady.
He was?
Oridori Institute was real sketchy back then.
Yep. And we know. We know because of alternate timelines. Guess we didn't inspect the desk. It's a desk. Not
You're
Mame.
talking about a Mame Doi? Tessa's friend?
So you know her?
Of course. I know everything about Tessa.
That's
so
creepy.
what about Mame?
She might have some valuable information about the case. I'm trying to find her. Do you happen to know where she is?
Sorry, I got no idea.
I see.
Okay, well. Nothing terribly helpful there.
Tokiko and Chikara in an illegitimate relationship.
They're both.
And Chikara getting kids' DNA.
Yeah, this is. The kid's DNA thing isn't terribly new. We already knew that he was into shady stuff.
Let's figure it out later.
We still need to find Mame.
That's probably something related to the missing child from the orphanage. And as for the illegitimate relationship, I don't really think it matters anymore. One, because it was decades ago, and two, because, well, to put it bluntly, they're both dead. I really don't know any other way to phrase it. Besides alivent or something like that. Not in the current state of being alive. I don't know.
Doesn't look like Amame is here.
Nope.
But wait, Leon is.
He is? I didn't see him. Oh, well, that would be why.
Leon is obsessed with Kizuna, and Kizuna is Amame's friend.
Yeah, he might know where Mame is.
It's a bit of a jump. I'd say more he frequents the shop she works at.
You again. What's up?
Do you know a girl named Amame Doi?
Oh, Kizzy's friend. Of course I know her.
Yeah, no, I said
You
that
know
right.
where she is?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
I saw her earlier.
Where?
I don't know. Give me 100,000 yen and I'll think about it.
You can't be serious.
I'm low on cash. Come on, Ryuki.
Fine. We'll do this. Leon, do you have a 500 yen coin?
Yeah, I do.
I'm going to look away, and you put it in one of your hands. If I can guess which hand it's in, tell me for free.
And if you're wrong?
I'll pay you.
All right, sounds good to
Yeah,
me.
that's right.
Let's do this. Don't peek.
Question is Chama gonna let us do that, or no?
Okay, I'm ready.
Because we are not giving him 1,000 USD. That's not happening.
Guess, which hand is it in?
Yep. And it's in his left hand.
Left hand, huh? Are you sure? You can change it if you want to.
Left hand for sure.
Darn it!
See?
How did you know?
Superpowers.
Ugh, damn.
Oh, so wait, hold on. I just realized something.
Well, fine. I did make a promise.
It does. I think that's a Top Gun reference. Because he's got the plane. I know he said he wanted to be a pilot, and that's what I thought the plane was. But then I just realized it says his tattoo says Danger Zone. That's a clever reference, if that is referencing Top Gun.
I saw Mame at ION.
ION.
That's the child services facility run by Richie Chieda. He's Una's father.
It's Valentine's Day today, right? We promised to meet up tonight. But I couldn't wait any longer. I want to see Kizzy right now! I don't need to talk to her. Seeing her from afar is enough. So that's why I went to Iowa.
It's kind of like wanting to watch porn before going to happy ending places.
I don't think this is anything like that.
Mame was there.
That makes it even
Mame, Kizzy,
creepier.
and Iris were talking. They had real serious looks on their faces. I couldn't barge into their conversation, so I left without saying anything.
She was smart with that
discussing
one.
something serious then.
Yeah, I was about to say, they just saw a dead body, so barging in on a serious conversation
you even
would be
looking for Mame?
problematic, to say the least.
Wait, is Mame a suspect in the HB case?
No, but she may know a suspect.
No, that definitely couldn't be it.
Okay, time to look around the park.
God. No. I need to learn restraint.
I'm not gonna replay that. I'm gonna replay that. No, I accidentally clicked twice, thinking he was just gonna be a fountain. I'm not replaying that. I refuse. What was? Oh, that's not a tree. That's a light. Stone monument. Looks like it's about it. Machine shed. Concrete bench. Guidepost. And that appears to be it. Oh, wait, maybe a sign? Oh, nope, that's still the guidepost. Okay. What you thinking about?
Oh, Kizzy. Yeah, I'm excited for tonight. We should meet. Okay. I'll see you there.
Okay, so nothing too weird. I'm assuming he's drinking non-alcoholic beer. Why do you think Mame is a suspect? No, he said she couldn't be a suspect, right? Yeah. Are you looking for Mame? Wait, is Mame a suspect? No, that definitely couldn't be it. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So he doesn't think Mame is a suspect. Okay, whatever, we'll push it anyway.
Actually, 4 days ago, on the 10th of February, I saw Mame then too, in front of Horodori Institute. She didn't notice me though. Anyway, Mame headed into Horodori Institute by herself. What business does she have at that research facility? That's what I was thinking to myself. I saw another person follow her in right after. It was Tokiko Shigure, president of NICE Japan.
you didn't bother
I know
telling
what you're
me about
thinking.
this.
Why would you think she's suspect just because of that, right?
Well, because she died
you're
a few
right.
days later?
I don't even know if Mame and Tokiko saw each other in there anyway. Not to mention Tokiko was killed 2 days ago, on the night of the 12th. So
Exactly.
maybe it's got nothing to do with it. Nah, it probably doesn't. Just coincidence. But for whatever reason, it caught my attention.
Okay, well, that's now 2 people Mame has been seen, or rather, has been known to be in the general vicinity of, that has been associated with this case. Why wouldn't you say anything? Okay, non-alcoholic
I told
beer.
you that before. It's Alfrey, non-alcoholic beer.
Yep.
Did you buy that? Of course I did. Okay, maybe it's true that I did steal a lot before. I know it's nothing to brag about, but they did call me the master of unlocking.
Then why don't you unlock Gen's
But
freezer?
that's all in the past. Did you always steal by yourself? It depended on what needed stealing. Sometimes I went alone, sometimes in pairs. If it was a big target, like some mansion in the boonies, I'd go with a team of 5 or 6 guys. The leader of the group was a Kumakura. You know them, right? That's how I met Moma, the chairman of the Kumakuras. I was usually partnered with Quartz. They were kinda like a bodyguard. Helped me out whenever I got in a sticky situation. Why am I even telling you all this? I think I've said too much. Please forget it. It's all in the past. Like I said.
Good to know your connections, though.
I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna see Kizzy tonight.
That
I need
sounds
to head to the
creepy.
beauty salon first.
Beauty salon?
Anyway, adios!
Okay, buddy.
Why was Mame at Horodori Institute?
4 days ago.
It's interesting that Tokiko was behind her as well. Horodori Institute. I remember.
The goal was to get inside the hidden room inside Horodori Institute.
We totally put that on hold.
Yeah, we never checked that out, did we?
Search that hidden room.
Yeah.
But going now would be pointless.
Why?
If it's a hidden room, it's gotta be a secret and locked up tight.
Okay.
They're not just gonna let
Well,
us
so
in
it's
there.
a basement thing.
Anyway, we should focus on the task at hand.
Nice.
Find Amame.
Yeah. Leon said he saw her at Iowan.
Boy. Let's wait and let's go to the other places first. Just in case the Iowan stuff
Amame.
progresses the story.
She was here earlier.
Really?
She left pretty quick, though.
Alcohol, posters, a chair, refrigerated case. Can't click on the lights. A menu, the kitchen, the counter, the menu, a large pot, Ganesha picture, English. I guess it's technically, well, part of that's English. Ganesha picture. Table. It's a house plant. Prepping some food. Why didn't you pick up
I
the
was so
phone?
busy today. We're expecting a lot of customers, so I have a lot of prep to do.
Why are you expecting a rush?
You know about what happened in Shinjuku yesterday? We're actually pretty close to there.
A rocket?
That's right. So anyway, there's tons of people around here now. I thought some of them might stop by here.
Fair enough. So, where's Mommy now?
She said she was headed to Iris's house.
The Sagan household, huh?
Oh, well, that's a bit different
Thanks.
from Io.
I've been trying to get a hold of her,
Iowa?
but...
Her phone is out of battery. She told me earlier.
I see.
Why are you looking for Amame?
Gen and Mame are close. Can't tell him there's a reason to believe Mame ran into terror. Wouldn't want him to worry about her. I'll play it off.
Well, you see...
Well done.
It's Valentine's Day today, isn't it? Well, she brought some chocolate.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, why? Is something wrong?
I saw Terra at the studio. Right after that, she saw Komeji's body. And she's still about getting chocolate. Probably wanted to play it off as if nothing happened because she's terrified.
I tried calling Iris, but still no dice.
We should just head to the Sargon household.
Yeah, good idea.
Something tells me. When we go here, we're gonna get a third location.
Hey, don't get in the kotatsu without permission.
It's cold out, and I'm cold.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to ask a few things, but before that, Shoma... No, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Better not to ask him about what happened at the studio. It'd be cruel to remind him. Not to mention I didn't want him running off again. Fair enough. Probably be best to avoid talking about Komeiji and the interrogation from the cops. I wanted to ask about... Mame, right? Yeah, Mame. Look at everything else first. CRT TV. Family altar. Poem. Lucky laugh. Picture. Boy robot. Trophy. A dresser. A doll. Add a rooster. Kitchen. The fridge. Closet with the robot in it. Toolbox. Tatsu. Remote control. A buzzer. And the window. Oh, and of course, a toy hammer and a folding van. And a TV stand. Okay, nothing special there. Reading a robotics book.
Dad. Dad. I shouldn't have said that you should die. It's all my fault.
Yeah.
Shoma.
Yeah, you know what? Let's ask about this. How in the world did you get out of the Ferris wheel?
Huh? What are you talking about?
The Ferris wheel at Misatan.
I didn't go to Misatan.
What? That's impossible. I definitely saw you get on the Ferris wheel.
Maybe you saw my doppelganger? Or maybe my clone.
Your clone? No, I don't think so. I mean, we may have the technology for it, but I've never heard of any human clones. Not to mention, it's forbidden by law.
The law doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, no, he got...
Not to a psycho,
Yep.
Chikara.
Yep.
What do you mean?
We already know he was in there for testing and stuff. Illegal testing.
They're researching cloning. So maybe they secretly made my clone.
Impossible.
No, it's not.
I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not kidding about Horodori Institute researching cloning. Just about cloning me.
How do you explain the Ferris wheel then?
Maybe you were seeing things.
Seeing things?
Maybe you got the TC Purge.
Purge? What is that?
Last year, they invented a way to edit genomes called Purge.
Purge was developed by Horodori Institute.
Like
TC
CRISPR.
Purge is kind of like a virus.
That sounds familiar for some reason. Oh, wait, I know why. That's a new enough reference that I won't say it because I think it is technically spoilers. Well, if I'm thinking of the right thing, it is. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I won't say it. It's technically new enough. I don't feel comfortable mentioning it right now.
People at Horodori Institute called it the organic nano machine. It acts kind of the way a virus does. When it enters the body, it latches onto bacteria, and a protein complex called CRISPR-Cas beta is made.
It's a bacterial phage.
CRISPR-Cas can cut, move, and attach certain DNA nucleotide sequences. When it enters the brain, it can even overwrite the DNA structure inside neurons. It can make you see things, make you dance. It makes you do weird things over and over. And on top of that, TC Purge multiplies in the body. It takes over the multiplication functions of bacteria and makes copies of itself. And it can be passed to other people with your breath.
Shoma, how do you know all this?
Because he was in the testing.
There's just some stuff.
Oh, right. We don't know about the testing in this timeline. Right. I forgot. We switched. That wasn't in this one. It just didn't click because we ended last time before reaching the end of that route, even though it was right there. So my brain didn't quite piece together what was going on there. Sorry, Stretch.
Shoma,
490.
you still haven't told me why you lied.
Lied?
About the code for Bats 490. That wasn't referring to Horodori Institute, but you said it was.
Sheesh, can you just let it go? I didn't solve the code.
We know he solved the code, but again, not the same timeline. Let's go.
Yeah?
I really don't want to talk about Komeiji.
Do you know where she is?
I have no idea.
Ryuki, we can hold off on Horodori Institute. We need to prioritize.
Yeah, we need to find Mame.
I guess let's go to Iowan. Is it just going to tell us that, yeah, no one was to be seen? Neither was Kizuna or Iris, who were supposedly with her. And did we just leave now? Asked the worker if they saw the three girls. He answered, I saw them here before, but that was a while ago. Fair enough.
Well, we tried. Let's go.
Okay.
No, wait. That person over there.
Oh, okay. No one's gonna...
Excuse me?
You're telling me no one looks at that person and goes, that's suspicious.
Nice to see you again.
No, like, there is no one... If you are looking after children, and someone just walks into a group of them with a cloak and an upside-down mask, wearing black gloves, black tights, and the only part of their skin you can see is their feet. That's the only identifying feature they have on them. And you still let them walk into this group of kids. You should not be taking care of kids. Send some hostility. Well, yeah.
I need to hurry. If I don't...
Are you barefoot? Your mask is upside down. Your clothes are worn out. Let's ask a different question besides ragging on her appearance.
Breath.
Why are you here? Breath? Okay, fine then. I guess your mask is upside down.
Is the opposite.
What?
I mean, yeah, it's right side up. That is correct.
I forgot to put mothballs in the dresser.
It's a bit different from moth stuff, but okay.
Rats don't wear shoes.
But you're not a rat.
Squeak, squeak.
Are you really a rat?
Or go again?
Where is it? Where is the main event taking place?
Main event?
Oh, the code.
There she goes.
What was she talking about?
Maybe a Halloween event or something?
NirvanA X.
Wrong season for that.
Maybe she was talking about that one thing.
What?
Don't make me say it. You know what I mean, don't you?
Absolutely don't.
There's no point in paying further attention to her. We should head to...
a different spot.
Still don't know what those letters mean. I've been thinking about it while they're talking, and I still don't. The only thing that I maybe have is NirvanA is 7 letters, and whatever the second part is, it's 7 letters. That's about as close as I can get. I don't have any other thing that I can think of. Halloween is all about costumes. Speaking of costumes, make me think about monsters. Which makes me think about unidentified animals, UMAs, cryptids. I think my favorite UMA is the chupacabra found in Puerto Rico. It has big fangs in its mouth, and it sucks the blood of humans and livestock. It can jump over 15 feet. I don't remember the specific height, but it seems to be relatively small in comparison to other monsters. No, I'm still stumped on the code.
I'm sorry. I think you're just one step behind. Mame was here, but she left with Iris to go somewhere.
I see.
The entrance, the shoebox. Good, no jokes about smelling it. Shelves, serious object. Clock. Bookshelf. A lamp. Dining set. Dining table. Hitomi's updated model. The lights. Refrigerator. A microwave. A door. The Okonomiyaki War. Ceiling fan. A window. Winter irises. Cushions. Elementary school textbook on the coffee table. Oh, really? Nothing about some weird one in the middle? Okay. A coffee table. A sofa. Tea. And I think that's it. Hello, Hitomi. Your model is looking a little bit cleaner.
I'm sorry, Mame. Iris is taking a long time to get ready. Mame?
Okay. I guess let's ask about... No, you know what? I see an option about Date. We're gonna ask about Date. They were in a deep relationship. We know that much, yes.
Why do you ask?
Well,
I haven't seen Date in a while. I've been waiting for him, but...
I'm sorry to ask such a delicate question.
No, it's okay.
Buddy! You don't have to hide yourself anymore. 1, you got your memory back, and 2, she knows both your identities. She knows everything at this point. You don't have to hide anything. Just show up, please. She lost you once, don't make her lose you again. Anything off about them?
Anything off about them?
I mean, there's
like
something
a
off
state
about
of shock or panic, maybe?
Mame, at least.
Let me think. Iris seemed normal, but I do recall Mame seemed troubled. She didn't say a word while she was here. Like her head was somewhere else. While Iris was preparing to leave, she just stared off into the distance.
And where did they go?
I'm not sure. They didn't tell me where they were going.
Sorry to have wasted your time.
There's no such thing as wasting time when you're investigating. Even the most insignificant piece of information could be relevant.
True.
Ryuki, I've never seen you so positive.
Maybe you're a good influence on me. Let's get going. We need to find Mame.
After that, we searched all over the city to look for Mame. But ultimately, we couldn't find her.
The sun is setting. Let's give up on finding a Mame for now.
No, not yet. There's one more place I want to go. I didn't mention it before now because I thought, considering Mame's mental state, it would be a long shot. But maybe...
Hey, can you just cut to the chase? Where are you talking about?
The maid cafe she works at. She's at the maid cafe, Sunfish Pocket in Akiba.
And I guess if nowhere else works, worth a shot, right? I'd think so. $8:15 is the time. Yep, there she is.
Mame, you were here this whole time? We were looking for you.
Sorry to interrupt, but Mame can't talk right now. I don't really know how, but she lost her voice.
She must still be struggling with what happened at the studio. But then, why is she here at the cafe?
Sinking
Wait,
time,
Leon's
Somnium
here.
time, whatever
What
you
is
want to
he
call
doing
it. Time to
here?
cure her aphonia. Same thing we did with Mizuki. Surveillance camera, a window, lights, a donut.
That looks like a flotation device, but it's actually a calamari ring.
My bad. Over to the kitchen.
I wonder what doodle is.
Oh, that? It's a service where one of the girls draws something using ketchup.
Sounded so disgusted by that. It's where they draw something using ketchup.
You wanker! Why'd you put a pig in the pot?
Did you say lid?
It actually wasn't a terrible impression of him. Boxes, oil drums, barrels, big boxes. Can't interact with the other mermaids. Look at the table and the chairs, though. The entrance.
Jeez, are there no mature women working here? I wouldn't enjoy getting whipped by these girls at all.
Tama?
I don't think this is that kind of establishment.
Several questions, Tama. Not sure if I actually want answers to them, though.
Ah, it looks like the toy that I have. Though mine only has one tip.
It looks nothing like that.
Nope. Trident. Don't comment. It's a trident. That's a counter. Okay, hi, Leon. Why are you here?
I told you, I was going to meet Kizzy today.
Why
She
here,
wanted
though?
to meet here.
Oh, okay, well, that's fair enough.
Where's Kizuna now?
She told me a little bit ago that she's running late. She'll be here after she finishes shopping with Iris.
Wasn't Iris with...
Is Iris coming too?
Yeah, it was actually Iris who planned the night out. It was her idea to have a video night at the cafe.
What does that mean?
I don't really know, actually. All I know is, this wasn't a solo date with me and Kizzy.
But you were still very excited about it. Oh boy, we got a lot. Let's start with here and now? Why are you here?
Seeing that you're wearing your outfit, are you working today?
Of course, it's Valentine's Day. There's going to be tons of customers here, and they need as many mermaids as they can get. So her manager begged her to work today.
Even though she can't talk?
She can write.
But...
Why'd you go to Horadori?
4 days ago, on the 10th of February, you went to Horadori Institute, right? Liam told me.
Hey, come on!
Why did you go to
I was
Horadori
gonna say,
Institute?
bro, he's right there.
Did you meet Tokiko there?
Hey, let me get more into it then if you don't want to answer anything.
Hey, what happened at the studio? I just want a clue. Anything at all would be helpful.
Fine, we know you saw Terror.
Mame, you ran into Terror at the studio, didn't you? Did they say anything to you?
Like I said, Mame can't talk right now. I thought I told you.
Fine then, we'll go into her Somnium.
I don't understand what Mame could be thinking. What's going on in her head?
Why don't you ask her to write something?
Looking at her now, I don't think she'll write anything.
Well, then...
Yeah, we should ask her heart.
There we go.
Using the sync machine.
There you go. Is there no one here? Is Tama just gonna be running it herself?
Good thing Boss and Pewter aren't here.
I'm sure they'll chew you out later. You know it's a crime to use the machine without permission. You could even get fired for this.
It's fine. If I get results, Boss won't care.
You think so?
I mean, that's actually really true.
Can you control the machine?
That is that is true.
Are you really going to do this?
Mame ran into Terror. I'm sure of it. It's highly likely she knows something important. Please, Tama. Please help me. You're my only hope.
Oh, you're so annoying. Fine, I'll do it.
You set the 24-hour limit, so you gotta help us throughout the 24 hours.
I'm going to skip the warning message because I'm sure you already know.
6
Okay,
minutes.
start it.
What was that?
Could you start, please?
That's better. Here I go. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, where are we going to be taken to? I'm assuming it's set, but I could be wrong. It is a set.
This is Studio de Vita.
The face-to-face set is still up. That means...
I have a bad feeling about this.
We have the brand new star of the networld visiting us today.
What?
Please, show us your dance.
You want me to dance? No, I'm not Aiba. I can't dance.
Come on, let's see it.
Ugh, I hate that look he gets in his eyes when he's ignoring me. Fine, I'll do it.
Resist, allow your heart to take you. Never let this merciless world erase you.
Oh, that's good.
That didn't really do it for me.
Oh, come on, it was a good reference.
Welcome to the quiz show, Faith to Face. I am your host, Andy's Komeiji.
It's Komeiji.
His facial expression isn't changing at all. It's creepy.
This is a competition for the one and only Quiz King's throne. And tonight, as always, we have a head-to-head battle between the champion and challenger. And of course, the champion is me, Andy's Komeiji. The challenger is...
Me?
Can the challenger beat me? I don't know. I'm pretty good at this.
What the hell is this? I didn't agree to this.
I knew Mommy liked quiz shows, but I didn't expect her to dream about them too.
Well, this is
The
a
rules
pretty
are simple.
dramatic.
After 5 rounds of quizzes,
Traumatic.
whoever has more correct answers
Okay.
will be the winner. The winner will receive this amazing prize.
What? The prize is a mame?
Amame, please tell us how you're feeling. Shy, huh? We'll talk to you throughout the show. The first stage will be right after these commercial messages.
A mame is the prize. What kind of show is this?
I guess we have no choice but to accept the challenge. If we win, we might learn something about terror too.
Is this literally just gonna be a quiz
If
show?
this is a competition, I'm gonna do my best, Ryuki. I'll finish the scan before the commercials even end. Somnium scan!
Oh, I thought we were gonna actually have to go and answer the questions. Okay. Oh boy. We are actually gonna have to answer questions, aren't we? Five locks this time. While I made contact with Terror by competing in the quiz show, you might be able to gain information about Terror. So, how many branching paths does this have? Because it looked to me like there was 2 branching paths, and from there was another 2 branching paths.
Stage 1. Let's begin. Who will be reading the questions? Very exciting.
I guess he's not going to read the questions himself. Makes sense.
I wonder who it'll be.
Terror. Or Mizuki. I'm okay with Mizuki. And she's dead inside.
I'm Mizuki Date. I don't really get trivia questions or whatever, but here's the first one. Stage 1 is the Scavenger quiz. We filled the studio with different items. Please choose the item you think is the answer. Quickest to answer wins.
I guess it's like a scavenger hunt?
Guess so.
Here's the first question. What's the correct answer? Your time starts now.
Huh. That's the question?
Jeez. A tough one right from the start.
Mommy liked watching quiz shows as a child. She enjoyed seeing more of the truth. The more she answered. Magazine. The Trident. Thanks for your eyeball. Photo of a deep sea fish. One-wheeled robot. Evokeman? Maybe. A pipe. Omelet rice. Headphones. That could be it too. Elephant trinket. Auto rabbit. Thanks for your eyeball. And space to think? Let's go with the headphones.
Shoma's headphones. Why is this the answer?
I thought with the music playing and all, the answer might have something to do with headphones.
I see. So the answer is headphones.
Wait, no, it's not. Because he only uses the noise cancellation
No,
feature.
That's not it.
I think we're on the right track.
It's gonna be the Wokeman. Mummy was troubled, but she always chose the blank, blank, or blank. She chose the blank. It's not headphones. The Wokeman.
Folkman. The song Gen gave to Amame. It's inside that cassette tape. But why did you think this was the right answer?
The BGM and this label. I just connected the dots.
Good enough reason for me. The answer is Volkman.
Good job, Challenger. That's correct.
Good job, Ryuki.
It was the 9th, so I chose the label with a 9.
You sound like you could do this all day.
Oh, I didn't piece that together.
Did you say
Oh my
Dante?
gosh. That's clever.
No. What are you, in love with him or something?
Mame's always listening to Gen's song with this.
I really don't like hearing Mizuki sound dead inside. I thought we made her happy, and then now she's sad again, and I don't like it.
Now let's move on to the next question. What's the correct answer? Your time starts now.
It's the same question again.
The BGM is different.
I actually don't know. Is it Ada Rabbit for... This is like Impending Doom, the song? Or I don't know, something, I don't know.
It's Mizuki's favorite doll. Mr. Date told me.
This probably isn't correct.
Oh, it's important to her.
Maybe something important to Mizuki is the answer.
Then the answer is Ada Rabbit.
It's not. Yeah.
That wasn't it.
I don't know, I just took a
Mizuki
guess.
is the host. Does that matter?
Mame likes music and videos, and excuse me, music and voices. She collected sounds. She became blank from blank. Okay, let's see what this think button does.
There's a label in front of each of the objects. I'm sure the labels have something to do with the answer.
It's the same
What's
thing.
our next hint?
Maybe it's the BGM again.
Gosh dang it, I don't actually know. I genuinely don't know what number this is. I don't know.
Sunfish Pockets omelet rice.
Something related to Mame is the answer. So I think this works.
The answer is omelet rice.
Nope.
I guess the question wasn't meant to be so personal.
I genuinely
Seems to
don't
be the
know.
case. Let's think about it.
Seem good at gleaning info from sounds.
The answer is this.
Oh, so that's how we can fail. So why is it that one?
Correct, champion.
All right, I'm heating up.
We almost had that one.
Why is it that one?
We should really think these through. When in doubt, think it over on the contestant seat.
This is the last question of
'Cause
stage
that one,
1.
again, is the 5th, isn't it?
What's the correct answer? Your time starts now.
It's the last one. Let's get this.
I've heard this song somewhere.
I have not. I've heard the first two, but I haven't heard this one. I should have known there was the 5th and the 9th. Or the 9th and the 5th, I guess, in the order that they were played. I should have known that one. That one's on me. That one's me being stupid. I genuinely actually do not recognize the song. Assuming it's another number, though. No?
What's the name of this fish?
It's a Cryptosaurus kusei, I think.
Okay.
You think?
Anyway, this is the answer. Damn, that's not it.
You really
Sorry.
don't know.
Let's think about it more.
The answer is this.
It's...
Correct, champion.
All right, I'm gonna defend my championship throne.
He's not the champion for
I
nothing.
genuinely can't piece
You
that one
must
together.
really earned that Quiz King title.
That's the end of the scavenger quiz. Let's look
I'll
at
have
the
to look it
results.
up on a walkthrough later, this chapter,
Champion
or
is
this
in the
specific
lead.
Somnium,
Will he be able to defend his title?
after
I
I'm
guess
done
this shows
with
the
it.
standings. We're in blue.
I've seen a quiz show like this before.
On, eh?
It's Mame. Something is wrong with her.
The red's still on the screen.
Why? Why? Why are you laughing like that?
Attempted the scavenger quiz. Okay, so there's a little bit. Oh, the occult quiz. Oh boy.
What did she
Okay.
say? I couldn't make it out.
Something on the lines of, why
She's
did
not
you
doing
laugh
too
at that? Of course, it's Iris with the
Stage
occult
2 is
quiz.
brought to you by me, A said. You bet.
It's Iris this time.
Iris with no pep? That's something you don't see every day.
True.
I'm sure my fans know this about me, but I'm really into the occult. So my questions are going to be about occult things. The name of this stage is Occult Quiz. I will show you a chart. Please answer with a name or word. Here is the first question. Which of these represents a historical secret society, and can you name it?
It's either A or B, right?
Yeah, but we need to answer with the actual name, not A or B.
Okay, so one of these represents a secret society, and we have to name it.
Let's think about it.
Be the Freemasons.
What should we say?
O-N-S.
The answer is B, Freemasons.
Nice. That's clever how they did that.
Challenger is correct. Well done. The Freemasons are said to have existed since the 16th century and
So you actually have to pay
all
attention to
over
the tips
world.
scrolling across the
Their
top.
purpose and recruitment tactics remain a mystery.
No, it's
Hey,
not a
it's okay to
mystery,
talk
but
about them
okay.
like this, right? We're not in trouble, are we?
It's not a
It should
mystery.
be fine. It's just Iris's opinion. Well, I guess Mame's opinion.
Either way, A was the office I'm from, Lemniscate.
It's not a secret. But okay. Mommy was troubled, but she always chose the right option. When in doubt or hiding something, she chose the blank.
Here comes the second question. Many unidentified mysterious animals, or UMAs,
And then
have
it's
been
B,
discovered. Which
Chupacabra.
one is smaller?
An Uma question. I'm not too confident here.
Have confidence. Judging from the characteristics of A and B, this could be easy.
Begin.
What should we say?
So if I can spell this correctly. C-H-U... I think that's how you spell it, right?
How about B, Chupacabra?
Okay.
Correct, Challenger. Good answer. Bigfoot A is up to 10 feet tall. Chupacabra B is no more than 6 feet tall.
I didn't understand the
still bigger
dog
than I was
part.
thinking.
I understand everything else but the dog part of A. That's what was throwing me off. Everything else let me
That is a
Bigfoot. The
scary
dog, I don't know about that one. I don't remember anything about a dog and all the stuff I've heard about Bigfoot. Mommy was troubled, but she always chose the right option. When in doubt or hiding something, she chose the option on the right. I see.
This is the last question of the occult quiz. Which of these two things affect the human psyche and behavior, A or B?
Effect is sort of vague. There could be a lot of answers.
I guess we're supposed to choose the best representative answer.
Begin.
Well, we know it's B.
What should we say?
Assuming it's advertisement? Nope, can't be ads. Marketing, flashbacks, messages, undetectable. Tachistoscope? That's a word. Newsworthy rumors, net lore, hitchhiker. I don't know what A is either. Marketing, flashbacks, message, undetectable, tachistoscope. ABEFIKLMN. Assuming that's an ORSU. Reading flashbacks, message undetectable. Subliminal? Hey, welcome to the stream. Subliminal. Sure, let's try that. Yeah, that fits. Nice job.
The answer is B, subliminal.
Nice, I would not have gotten that.
Correct. Marvelous. Imagine watching a video and a juice container appears. Even if it's only for a split second, faster than the brain can even consciously register it, the viewer is struck by the desire to buy juice. That is the subliminal effect. Maybe all of us are subconsciously affected by someone or something.
Now that you mention it, I do kind of want some juice.
You're just thirsty.
I was it too back to you? No, I was clearly stuck.
Quiz. I wonder what the panel looks like now. Well, 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 the challenger is keeping up.
That's it for stage 2.
3 stages left. Let's keep it up.
You weren't obnoxious about it either, so don't worry.
Oh, Amame showed up again.
Why did this?
Error? Okay. I don't know who that is. I'm assuming it may be terror, but maybe not. It's not the
There's
difference.
something about Mame.
Okay.
Is it about the case?
I don't know. We don't know enough to say for sure.
The prize is Mame, right? If we win, we can ask her directly.
Again.
Now I, Gen Ishiagane, will be asking the questions.
Again next.
Stage 3 is spot the difference.
Huh?
Alrighty, I got new glasses. Let's see what they do. That's a dead Mizuki, and I don't like that.
But
The challenger will
It's a dead
attempt to
Kizuna
find
as
the
well.
differences from there.
Find the differences.
There are 3 monitors in the room. What is shown on the screen is different from what is actually there. You have to spot these differences. Compare the monitor and the real scene. There are 4 differences.
I see eyeballs.
Okay, we just need to compare things. Doesn't seem too hard.
don't be so sure. There's a ton of stuff to look through. We gotta be careful.
Now we will begin.
Just wanted to see what happened. Before sleeping mysteries always get me. It's all good, it's all good. Okay, so we have you're still alive and standing, you're still alive and standing. Is that wrench there? That wrench is not there. There's a QR code. QR code is there. Mizuki's alive. Kizuna's alive. That's correct. The buzzer is there. Get Mame to leave work to go in the machine? That's a good question, actually. Wait, do I have to pick this up in the... No, I just gotta run up to it. That is actually a genuinely good question. Okay, well, no, I apparently actually have to go and...
Mizuki.
No, not that.
She's not moving at all.
No.
We can ignore why she's bloody for now. But in any case, this looks like a
I want to get the eyeball.
That is correct, Challenger.
Ugh, it hurts.
Mizuki? What's going on?
Mame came across many blank. Blank. Thanks, game. That's helpful. I just want the eyeball.
Hmm? That's...
Cool, I got it. Okay. And then there's also one on here.
What?
Cool. Okay, so the magazine isn't there.
The magazine was in the studio, too. It's in pieces, though.
Should we piece it together?
No, I think this
You
is
know
fine
what?
as is.
We probably just said we're the police and we need her for a criminal investigation, and you probably couldn't have really said no.
That is correct, Challenger.
Got another one.
There is a blue figure on the monitor in the same place. How does that relate to the book?
Well, depending on the kind of book, it may be Date.
It's blood.
Never mind, it's not that kind of book.
This is creepy.
Mama came across many wounded things. Okay, you're still fine. Mysterious person.
The blue figure is split from top to bottom. I think it's symbolizing the case.
Is that a wrench on the screen? How is it related?
There's so much going on. I don't get it. But at least we can say this is another difference.
That is correct, Challenger.
Whoa.
I don't know how to describe it. It's more... corpsey?
Sure, that's a word, I guess. Across many wounded things, important things, the heart, blood, like... I think we said everything in here was good, right? And then Kizuna's dead. See any eyeballs there?
Kizuna! Kizuna! No reaction.
She has a heart on her back.
She looks different from the monitor. One difference is Kizuna.
That is correct, Challenger.
Kizuna?
She disappeared.
She carries all of it inside.
The Challenger got all the answers correct. Good work.
I am amazing.
Though it's hard to celebrate after seeing that.
Whoa! This again?
Okay, so the question was, does that count as 1 or does that count as 4?
Oh, we made it back to the studio. Huh? Isn't that...
Camera? Oh, he's wiggling in the body bag.
Making the old geezer walk so much.
Komeiji.
It's the same as when the body was found, so it probably is.
Well done. Let's check the board.
Okay, so it is going to give me 4.
The Challenger is putting up a good fight.
If the game is still going, can the champion continue?
I don't know.
Ryuki.
That's nice. Okay.
What was that
Ultimate
flood?
50-50.
This is way too deep.
Good work, Challenger. Giving me a run for my money.
Andy's Komeiji. Other than the voice, he seems to be okay.
I see that you're quite capable, so now it's my turn to deliver the quiz.
The more you get wrong, the more the
fourth
screen.
stage is the
Yeah.
ultimate 50-50.
I thought we were competing against him.
Yeah. The way he is now, he obviously can't answer any questions.
The rules are simple. Answer the questions as quickly as possible, on instinct. Challenger, go sit at the deluxe chair over there.
Okay.
There are 10 questions. If you need to use the restroom, do it now.
It's fine. I've never used the bathroom in my life.
What? Do you have an image to maintain? In any case, let's begin. Question. Which would you rather eat? Poo-flavored curry or curry-flavored poo?
That what if question has been around forever. I didn't know there was a correct answer.
Forget about the flavor. At least that one is edible.
The answer is poo-flavored curry.
Guess I was right.
After we're done here, I'll be sure to order you a bowl of poo-flavored curry on Goober.
On Goober Eats.
Would that even be on the menu?
Okay. It's gonna be faster if I just use the arrow keys or something instead.
If you could use a time machine, would you go to the future or the past?
Another question with no right answer? Is this how it's going to be?
That's a hard question. I guess you can't stop wondering when you'll meet the person you're gonna spend the rest of your life with.
The answer is future.
The past.
But Ryuki, you may have met them already.
What?
The person who you'll spend the rest of your life with.
Theoretically, yes, but also she's hitting on you.
Next question. Which would you rather have? An ideal job or an ideal lover?
I'm happy to have this job. I can't even think about losing it.
Answer. Ideal job. That was the ideal answer. I'm sure boss would be happy.
Actually, I did kind of consider that.
The audience did not sound happy with that, though.
Next question. Be truthful and be poor, or lie and make money. Which would you choose?
It's hard to live a lie.
So the answer is
Something will break
truthful and
eventually
poor.
in that case. I think.
Eat the rich. Let's start a red revolution!
What's gotten into you?
Next question. Which is worse to lose, the father or mother?
Go
I
right.
don't think there's any good choice here. The mother?
I don't
The
know.
answer is mother.
He said whenever you don't know what to choose, choose the right
Why
option.
did you choose that?
I felt like it.
It said choose the right option whenever you don't know, so I chose the right option.
Next question. Which would be worse to lose, sight or hearing?
Ooh. Probably.
I don't get excited if there's no voices.
The answer is hearing. What did you mean by that anyway?
Bodybuilding competitions would be so boring without a crowd cheering.
Okay.
My mind went to music, and the fact that we have ways to supplement eyesight right now, but we don't exactly always have the greatest ways to supplement hearing. At the current moment, I can wear glasses as my eyesight deteriorates. I know several people whose hearing is deteriorating, and while there are ways to assist it, they aren't always reliable. I guess that's what my mind went to.
Next question. Someone important was hurt in front of you. Do you make the person responsible apologize or get revenge?
No one should strive for revenge.
The answer is apology.
That's my moral compass
Though
telling
I
me
guess
that.
the
But
effectiveness of an apology depends on the damage caused.
yes, exactly.
That's a good point.
And 99% of the time, if you force someone to apologize, it's not going to be sincere in any capacity. And most of the time, you're probably just going to go for revenge, but if you can somehow think perfectly logically and maintain your moral compass, then that's what you should do.
Next question. What would you do if your best friend and your family are about to die, but you could only save one?
Oh gosh.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Family?
The answer is family.
That's
I wonder what the
horrible.
point of all
I
these questions
hate a
is.
couple of these
I
questions.
don't know.
Forget wasn't an
Only
option.
two
Yeah,
more
that's
left.
right.
Next question.
I can never meet my loved one again. If you could just forget sadness, what do you forget? Or remember?
You mean only the sad memory?
I won't forget. I won't allow myself to forget. If I do, I think that all my memories of them would disappear too.
The answer is to not forget. Yeah.
Oh, so you can't have happiness without the opposite of sadness. There is no one without the other.
Next question. Which do you choose? Have your biggest secret spilled or be part of some dangerous plan?
Past versus future. Have your past secret exposed, or your future compromised by some scheme?
Secret.
I'd rather accept problems from my past than ruin my future.
The answer is have my biggest secret spilled.
No one said it had to be
This
problematic.
question is so vague with secrets and schemes and all. It's hard to answer.
Yeah, it could be anything.
That is it. The challenger answered all questions correctly. 100%.
I only got 2 of them wrong. Feels with these questions,
This
yeah.
is what the standings look like.
Now I think I completely understand you, Challenger.
Okay. Didn't really like half of those questions were fun. Other half of those questions, I hope I never even have to think about that decision. Find the truth, huh?
Huh? What?
Things are getting ominous.
The Challenger now
It's going to be pizza or ice cream. Yeah, exactly.
There are 4 total questions. If you get them all right, you win.
What is this? Komeji's voice is...
Terror's. Now Terror's voice.
Question 1. What is this space?
Threatened, pressurized, terrorized, imitated. Terrorized?
Correct.
This.
Question 2. What is this?
All of the above. Calling himself the Quiz King on here, so I guess the former Quiz King?
Correct.
Don't know if all the answers were correct, or...
What's this question about?
Question 3. Who was enlightened by the NirvanA initiative?
Man in the Iron Mask, the culprit, Terror, the Man in Black. Okay, so all these questions are all of the above. 199th is the timing we have. I see. Yes, I wish to perform an action without using a timing.
Mame must have heard about the NirvanA initiative from him.
Final question. I got threatened again. My only option now is...
I don't know, what do you mean beyond comprehension, or what are you asking? I don't know, so I'm going to choose the answer to the right, like the key said.
What? Why?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but this is probably everything that's happened to Mame.
The challenger wins.
That was it?
What was that?
What the?
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you. Congratulations.
All four of the videos with the different pictures and intersecting video.
Tama, talk to Mame. Quick!
Amame, tell me. What did Terra say to you?
NirvanA. Collected. Genocide.
What?
What do you mean? Tama, be more specific. Mame must have some kind of critical information.
No, Ryuki, we're out of time!
No!
Let's get out of here!
Didn't understand the last question. Of course we didn't. We did not get the bonus. Probably because I failed two of the questions. Because I couldn't think of... think that it was the fifth. And then I still have no idea what the answer was for question 3. Okay, though. That was something.
Mame is still sleeping.
I think we gave her too much. We needed pewter.
Anyway, that's Somnium.
Those final words are thought-provoking.
NirvanA. Collected. Genocide.
Something to do with the NirvanA initiative?
Probably.
Bunch of people who watched it have gone missing.
Rumors say that the missing people are being rounded up in one location.
Location given by the
All
letters.
getting murdered.
So the
on
rumors were
February
true.
15th at noon.
Ryuki, you've got a call.
From who?
Pick up and find out.
Iva!
Quiet. Stop yelling. This is an emergency.
What is it?
Kizuna Chieda. She's gone missing.
What?
No.
Ryuki, you can provide invaluable assistance. Will you look for Kizuna?
Well, yeah. Of course.
Understood. Good luck.
Kizuna.
Missing?
It was her idea to have a video night at the cafe.
Maybe Kizuna saw the video and...
NirvanA. Collected. Genocide.
Not all a dream. Ryuki Chapter 5, Route 1.
Ryuki, you look more drained than a bathtub. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Of course she sits there
Were you
again.
able to get some sleep?
No, not really. But it's fine. This is nothing.
If you say so.
Okay. I think this is about the most decent spot we'll get to wrap it up for the next little while, so we'll do our little ending routine and then we'll wrap up the whole stream. Start with this. What martial art am I good at? Muay Thai. I actually don't know this one. Capoeira? Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I don't know this one either. Sustemo. I know Kempo, Karate. I guess we did also learn a little bit of Jiu-Jitsu while we were in there, so. So jealous. I'm not good at ground holds. Yeah, ground holds kind of sucked. Gotta say, I was not exactly the biggest fan of grappling. I'm still not the biggest fan of grappling.
Take your time. I'll be gentle.
Feeling good,
Feeling
Tama?
good, Tama?
I always feel good. Want me to make you feel good too?
Why? I don't think we got anything new here, right? Yeah,
How
no.
about I take it
No.
off?
Okay, 2 things of life advice.
Worried about money?
I don't know, which option have we not chosen yet? I think we've chosen 3 out of the 4 of these options, I just don't remember which one. I know we chose this one before. And I know we chose this one before, but I don't remember which one of these. That too, I guess. Probably didn't choose that one.
Yes. Talking about business.
Well, this... Business is booming.
Ah. Talking about how to use assets?
What about FX? How about stocks? I don't get it. How about FX?
You're messing around, right?
Can you not be perverted all of a sudden?
Wait, what? It was like a hologram, like a video editing joke. Okay, never mind. Apparently not.
Worried about school?
I'm a baby.
You're messing around, right? You don't really have worries, do you?
Worries?
What did you say?
Are you bored?
Do I look bored?
You're messing around, right?
Obviously. Anyway, since you're bored, here's a quiz.
Alright, hopefully it's not depressing.
What 3-letter word makes a girl a woman?
I'm not answering that. Okay, that's not what my brain went to due to everything that you've just been saying. Fair enough. I know that was probably 100% the purpose, wasn't it? Caught me, I guess. Alrighty though, I think that's gonna be it for now. Then we'll save. Save again, because I double save. I learned recently that that's more normal. I thought it was. Okay, let's go ahead and hop over to the other screen then. There we go. Well, some of those questions were depressing, to say the least. I'm glad they gave me a way out by simply saying if Amame didn't know what to do, she just chose the option on the right. So that's what I did. Because I hate some of those questions. I never want to have to think about those questions. I much prefer poo-flavored curry or curry-flavored poo. Or pizza and ice cream or something, I don't know. Those are better questions than that, though I guess that's the point. And all that done, though. Interesting but sad at the end. Yeah. And quite honestly, we answered 18 out of those 20 questions, and I'm still left with more questions than we got answered. I'll stick with my avocado smoothie. Nice. That actually sounds pretty good. Yeah, no, I'm personally left with more questions than answered after even answering a 20-question quiz. But I guess that's the nature of a mystery, huh? We found Amame. Granted, that left us not knowing where Kizuna was, but we found Amame. And at least from what I understand, Kizuna didn't see terror. Hopefully. So let's hope she's okay for next time. Maybe we'll get to talk more with Aiba. Maybe she can help. I'll have to get to the point of answering all of them. Dedicated, thanks for the stream. Oh, thank you for coming out. I really appreciate it. To anyone who may be possibly lurking in the background, or to anyone who may be watching this in a VOD, thank you for coming out as well. Guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up and do the kind of normal ending. If you enjoyed the desire today, definitely leave a follow. It's a nice and easy way to say, hey, I like what you're doing. Keep up the good work. It's also... my brain's not working. It's also a good way to get notifications right at the start of every stream, so you don't have to miss a thing. Twitch sends out notifications, but you can also get notifications directly from me if you go ahead and follow my Twitter. So you can follow me on either one of those platforms to get notifications however you please. If you're interested in checking out any of my past content, maybe seeing the start of this series, or maybe the other series that we've been working on, feel free to check out my YouTube channel. It's where I've been uploading all my VODs. But regardless of how you choose to show your support, it means a lot to me, and I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time happens to be where you are. And I hope to see you all again later. Thanks for coming and hanging out.